if you're a good personality and you have your shit together playing wise, just take some time. You'll eventually get there. That's kind of the only thing you can do.
We were pedal to the floor till the needle shakes. Michelin spinning down the PCH. It was Ace of Base circa 1993 with the signs those brown eyes were giving me. So
Welcome to episode 89 of the Nashville Drummers Podcast. Today, Nate and I have the great pleasure of sitting down with longtime friend Wesley Bourque. Wes has been the touring drummer for rising country singer-songwriter Logan Crosby and is also artist relations for distributor and record label out of New York, United Masters. This was honestly one of my favorite conversations to date, and not because we talk in depth about drumming or gear even, though of course we discuss all of that, but Wes shares some really fascinating stories and anecdotes from his life that touch on the industry and relationships at large, not just being a drummer. We talked a lot about perception in this town and positive mindsets to working day jobs and strategies for networking and landing bigger gigs. We discussed how to become more valuable to an artist at a camp and his theories as to why some artists make it and others don't. We also get into the world of playback and handling high-stress situations, to how you can use social media and content to really level up your career. A reminder, if you haven't already got your tickets to this year's Music City Drum Show happening July 18th and 19th, you can use our code NDP for 10% off tickets. We hope you enjoy episode 89 of the Nashville Drummers Podcast featuring Wesley Bourque.
damn, we were so damn free. Every time I come across a memory of you and me.
That's why we got the plan,
That's
baby.
right, yeah.
Yeah, you got.
Everyone needs a little between two ferns.
That's
Yeah.
what we're going for, yeah.
Yeah, between one
Fern and a sonar kit.
Yeah, yeah, I feel that.
One fern and a sonar, there it is.
One fern is
Well,
brought to you by
We call that an industry plant. You know.
Fernie. What are you doing back there?
It's taken us till now to come up with that term.
Weekend at Fernie's.
Man, this is gonna be so fun. I'm looking forward to this because, yeah, we don't really know your back. I mean, we've gotten
will
lunch
learn
before,
today.
and we've
We'll
seen you at the drum show. I think is that where you guys met? Maybe?
Yeah, well, it's funny. I've seen you. We've all seen each other around.
Yeah.
as
You
one
know,
does
like
here.
every time I'm on Broadway, I see you usually like a window open and you just crushing it. Kid Rock's maybe. You play Kid Rock's a lot?
I was playing there a good bit. Probably HTC now. If the window's open, seeing me. Yeah. Nudies too. That was. I was there for a minute. Yeah.
And it's your hair.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of hair, so
hard.
it's always
It's hard to miss.
You got great hair though.
Well, what I have,
style.
it's it's not the blessing I got, but it's what I'm dealing with.
Sure.
But yeah, I feel like that's always the drum shows where we first connected, and then I don't know, just internet. It's hard to like keep in touch with people through real life, but you got to. It's like, just to know what they're about. You know,
Exactly.
it's better to do that than not.
what is real life? Yeah.
Yeah. Is the
Still trying to
internet
figure it
not
out.
real life?
Well, contrary to popular belief, it sometimes is, but with AI, we can't tell.
That's true. That's maybe the best and most accurate take I've heard on that.
It's scary, but it's kind of cool. I mean, I just had a buddy of mine make a whole music video. It took him like 30 hours. Looks sick. It's a music video for his single that he released. And, budget-wise, it didn't cost him a lot of money, but you kind of can't. I mean, you can tell, but it's also like, looks fantastic.
Dang.
So as like a promotional tool, awesome. And as, I don't know, kind of everything else, I guess how deep you get into that. You know, it could be really great, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, are you playing on Broadway much?
No, I'm not as much. I'm trying to maybe more. I was going to, of course, tonight at 12:30 Club, which is, I guess, technically Broadway, but it's not a typical Broadway.
Yeah.
I had a kind of like 2 to 4 times a month. I was playing with a buddy who he's one of my best friends in the world. Do you guys know AJ Cross?
No.
He's an artist, but he's for a long time he was doing a ton of demo work around town, and he became kind of like the guy. Like there was one top guy that basically retired and said, if you want to hire me, just everyone go to him. So
Wow.
it's like not a bad, it's not a bad spot to be in.
Yeah, that's a great spot to be in.
But he kind of pivoted out of that now, doing the artist thing. But he was like my gateway into quite a few things in the town. So I moved to town in 2014. And I met him like 10 days after I moved to town. And then we weren't even playing a lot together at that point, but he introduced me to my wife. Yeah. We've just been like best friends forever. So thanks, AJ. Appreciate you.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what else? I mean, wife is enough. That's enough information. But what else?
Well, he is there's a lot to cover, I guess, on that. So I mean, with AJ,
you got time.
Yeah,
AJ is a
few minutes here.
Yeah, we got let's wind it up. Yeah. But no, I mean, AJ has had an interesting journey, just himself. Like we've done some showcases together, but Broadway is a great example of like how he kind of cut his teeth as a performer. I mean, if you saw the very first show that we did versus like the one that we ended on, it's not even the same guy. But that's, I know everyone has a different take on Broadway, but it's made me better at a lot of things over the years.
Yeah. Sure.
And it can be rigorous. It's like when you go into the military, they train you hard so that you can do whatever you got to do at a high level.
Yeah.
And I mean, 4-hour shows or 8 hours, doubles. Like that's a whole lot.
Yeah. I like that comparison. We haven't heard that much.
Yeah.
Broadway is military.
Yeah. Welcome to basic training.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in some ways it is. I remember some of the
drop
struggles.
down and give me a shuffle. Faster.
Some of the struggles I ran into, not used to playing like that long.
Yeah.
Getting some cramps in my leg, like at 4 on the floor for 4 hours, basically like after that, like staying hydrated, learning like what to do and what not to do for your body.
Yeah. It's your right butt cheek that will just tell you that you are not in the condition yet after a lot of 4 on the floor.
It is. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And some of that could be physical shape too, because I mean, like you guys are both in shape, but like I was in better shape in 2014 than I am now. When I first moved, just like having kids. Sometimes it's just, I got to get back on track. But yeah, I think that sometimes cramping was part of it, just leg, and sometimes we've all had like your finger kind of locked. Like if you're just hitting too hard for. I mean, it could be for a lot of reasons. Not that you intend to, but sometimes just, your monitors aren't right and like you're not hearing yourself correctly. Mm-hmm. So you start hitting harder because just that's what you feel like you need to do.
Yeah.
I've had that happen before. We try to get out of that though as quickly as you can.
Yeah. For sure.
We get the monitor guy like cymbals are too loud. You're like, oh yeah, I'm sorry. Thanks for your feedback. Appreciate it. Yeah. But anyways, long story short on that, AJ kind of pivoted out of that, so I don't play as much down there anymore. But that's fine. We just every now and then you get a call, kind of fill in. Let me know if you guys.
Hey, that reminds me. Thanks for the call with. I did that Utah wedding that you threw my name out there for.
How was that?
It was interesting. It was super fun. The guys were great.
That's good.
I just met all those guys like the day of, basically, or when I flew in.
That's great. A wedding in Utah, that can go either way.
It was a Mormon wedding.
It was really?
Yeah. I had never been to. There was like a bar, which I thought was a bar, but it was just like fruit water.
What kind of fruit? What are they doing?
Strawberries? I don't know. The point is it wasn't alcohol.
Yeah.
Wes, that's the point. It was
and
water.
It wasn't caffeine either.
It wasn't caffeine.
No, that's part of this experience.
To tie it into Broadway, I mean, it was basically a Broadway set, and it was like a lot of just, we've never rehearsed this song as a group, and now we're playing it in front of a wedding party. It's a little bit of a high pressure scenario.
Yeah.
Granted, they were already married, so you couldn't screw up that badly.
Well, look, here's the plug for you guys.
That.
You guys are both awesome players. So like anyone that wants to call
Likewise, thank you.
Do it. Like you guys, I trust you guys both with like everything. You're gonna be fine at everything. Like call you, you're fine. You're gonna do good.
Especially Nate and Ableton, right, Nate? Because by now, at this point, once this airs, you will have been a master.
Right.
Maybe. I'm putting that out into
definitely.
Putting that out there.
Tell me about your Ableton. Experience.
It's like
it's like a running gag on this show. Is that he's just anti-Ableton. That's all.
Yeah, I like playing the drums.
I hear you.
I just like playing the
He's more of a
drums.
traditionalist, yeah.
And I am slow to acquire other skills.
I get it.
Yeah,
I understand that.
That is the most succinct way I can put my Ableton situation. But I am. Yeah. I'll get around to it eventually. I just literally at this point in my career, I don't have a reason to be messing with it.
I'm going to lay a couple scenarios on the table, and I feel like this is going to connect with you guys.
Hit me.
Okay. Here we are. Mystery Show 9000 that we've showed up to that, you get a quick call for. can you run Ableton? Yeah, I can press, we can figure it out like real quick. Yeah. And then you get there, everything's fine, but the riser is a little wobbly. You know what I mean? Like the bouncy drum riser, sometimes maybe it's like as you're kind of rocking a little harder, riser starts kind of bouncing a little bit. And this is a real scenario.
I was just going to ask. Yeah, this is getting very specific. So,
but this has happened multiple times. Just this one went a little far on.
Okay, keep going. I'm interested. Yeah.
And I thought the artist was great. Super talented people. The music was really cool. The gig went almost perfect, except for I kept having to. I didn't have like a computer, like a laptop stand. It was like drum case laptop. And I thought that would be fine, but since the thing was rocking, I'm not seeing laptop kind of go to the left, off the stage, basically.
Damn.
I caught it, but the whole thing is like you're trying to play at a high level. First time you're approaching this whole thing, but you're also leaned over.
Yeah,
and you're
literally
holding it because it just keeps skating on you. Like you can't. So frustrated at that. And that's something you can't always really help, because if you have like 2 laptops and you don't have to really worry about it, or you can control it with something else.
Yeah.
Is it okay if I duct tape your laptop to this thing that it's sitting on?
Oh, I've done it.
Yeah.
We do that still, because we have 2. The way that we run our show, we have 2 laptops, which I'll tell every artist I work with, like if you're gonna make tracks a part of your thing, if you don't have 2 computers, you're really taking a big risk.
Yeah. And you mean like an essential part of the show, not just like there's click, but like there's tracks playing front of house.
Yeah.
If those cut out, it would be noticeable, kind of thing.
Well, also too, some of that can hinge on like the front of house engineer. Like if the front of house can mix the band more forward than the tracks, then we've had it go out and like everyone's like, oh, I didn't even know.
Yeah.
Like, I had no idea it was out.
Right.
But if it's the opposite and like there's huge segments of the song that like nobody's playing, it's just like track intro, track, massive tracks here, then obviously you go out, that's pretty much a wrap,
Yeah.
Or there's no bass player.
Right.
It's like that's why having a bass player is, it's one of the reasons having a bass player is important. But like if that stuff ever cuts out, man, it's a real risk.
Yeah.
Like we've had because you're gonna get the 2:15 slot, the middle of the festival, sun is 300,000 degrees. That computer's checking out after chorus 1. We've had it.
Yeah.
We've all had it happen.
Yeah.
Actually, last year it happened, but it still was fun. Like you should hopefully have it set up if you can, so that if that ever happens, like whatever, no worries. Like we all know the songs. We're rocking,
right. We're professionals.
Yeah, we can get through it. Wow, I can play without a click. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. You guys are actually
didn't know I could fly free.
Yeah, and sometimes I hate to say it, but like sometimes when that has happened, like the whole band has actually had more fun. Like we're like, wow, like we all sound great. We're kind of like, the railings of the bowling alley have kind of gone down. I'm like, wow, I actually got a strike on my own. This is great.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I didn't even need the bumpers, man. It was,
That's so good, man. Nate's like you preach to the choir.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That freedom is nice, huh?
Well, and you've seen like the From Studio to Stage YouTube channel.
No.
You know who that is?
No.
He's like the number 1 like playback, like breakdown tutorial videos of like how to get started, very easy to digest content, but also like more advanced. But along those lines, because you're talking about redundancy, of course, with having 2 laptops, like the exact same laptop. And some people don't understand that they have a backup laptop, which is probably still better than nothing, but that's not exactly the same as redundancy, and it might not actually work great. But he recommends getting, and maybe I want to get your thoughts on this or from your camp with Logan, of course. He recommends getting, like, you don't have to get like the most expensive spec'd out MacBook. If you're gonna have 2, you can just get like 2 like MacBook Airs. Like they don't have to be.
I do have a perspective on this.
Yeah. Okay.
So there's a couple factors that have gone into play that we have. So a lot of, basically for a long time, we were all using like our personal computers, like until an artist gets to a level where like now they own all the gear. Sometimes it's just how, I have Ableton, I'll run it on my computer. So there's a little risk in that like on your own computer, you can have like a ton of other stuff, programs or editing.
Your calendar goes off and it has a reminder in the middle of the show or something crazy.
That's something that actually,
Oh, God.
I've had it happen. You know, like, or someone gets a FaceTime call. I've had it happen where you're like mid-song and like, ding, 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 ding.
Does that happen to you?
Yeah, I've had it happen.
No.
Where I'm like, look, I can do a lot of things, but you know, I can't stop a call and keep, you know, it's,
Let me get this real quick, actually.
I'm one man.
yeah. Oh, Mom. You know.
Yeah, it's going great.
Yeah.
Still in the middle of it.
Let me call my guitar player's aunt back real quick. Hold on. But the MacBook Air, we were looking into this, and there's nothing wrong. Like, I was playing at the time with Thompson Square.
Yeah.
And they had one MacBook Air. That was their. They never had, when I was with them, a redundant rig, and it worked fine. There was no problems. But we were reading into it, and the difference between like a Pro and an Air is, I mean, there's a few differences, but essentially like one has a fan and the other one does not. So sometimes it could be where you're playing. If you're just doing arenas and it's not like super hot or like indoor, you know, not everyone does it. I barely ever play those.
Yeah.
Then you should be fine. But if you're doing like a lot of outdoor stuff, then you might want to consider one with a fan.
That's a good point.
You know,
Yeah.
if you can afford it. I mean, it's all about what you can afford.
I've actually, it's funny you mentioned the fan. And this is maybe probably not as helpful, but they make like those like gamer separate fans you can plug in from Amazon. I'm talking like $30. You plug it into the port of the MacBook, and it cools the laptop to a certain degree.
Is it a stand?
I think some of them.
We had a stand at one time where like
the one I have is literally just like a pad. It's like a plastic pad.
Okay,
but it works. I mean,
probably very similar to that.
Yeah,
like
and there's different. There's all different like rotations and speeds for some of these.
Or you can just dunk it in ice water. That really, you know,
pre-show ice. Yeah,
immediately cool it. Pre-show ice. Yeah. No, but that is, you know, if you're doing, buy once, cry once, if you can. You know, that's
say it again.
Buy once, cry once.
Yeah, I love that.
You know, like that's what I did when I've had my drums now for, I think 2002 is when I got my yellow Noble and Cooley CD Maples.
You got that.
I can't wait to talk about that.
Yeah. Well, you came to the right place. No, I bought it because I don't know. Like before I bought a kit, I was also into like riding dirt bikes and quads and stuff like that. And in the area that I grew up in, there was a lot of that. Like you could do it very easily. In some areas you can't, but in good old Southwick, Massachusetts, like we have a national motocross track in the town. Really? So the culture was always really there. But the whole point is like, you know, you can kind of see, you know, when you're ready for something, and I got this also from teaching drums for a little while too, and working at music stores and like the life experience is like, if you, let's say, have a guitar, you know, I used to see a lot of people come in, oh, I'm going to buy my son his first guitar, but we're not really sure if he wants to, like, do it. Yeah. So we're not going to spend a ton of money. So you buy, like, the world's worst guitar. And they're like, it's cheap, but, like, nothing performs correctly. It doesn't allow you to play the instrument correctly. Mm. And if you could just get, like, something a little bit above that, like, they might actually be excited about it. Right. Like, oh, wow, this actually sounds great.
Proper technique.
Yeah. Same thing with drums, though. Like, if you're going to do it professionally, even semi-pro, you know, having something that just sounds great is going to inspire you as a player. So,
yeah,
the very first drum that I got that really, really taught me all that was the Noble and Cooley Alloy Classic. It was it. I had a Premier Cabria set that at the time I was super into 311. So
nice.
I mean, and still am. I mean, Chad.
Crank it.
We just missed 311 day.
Awesome. Yeah. Which, by the way, just a couple of days ago, 2 weeks ago, actually, Nick Hexum was driving around or just walking around the street. I remember driving by him, like, you know, you do like a double take.
Right.
Like, that's Nick Hexum. It's awesome. But anyways, so his snare, like.
Roll your window down and yell some 311 lyrics.
Yeah. Are you down, bro? I remember, like, when I was trying to figure out how to play, I would always try to get the sound that they had. Like, 311 was the most, like, you can't mistake that snare drum.
Totally.
So I remember one day I was like, oh, I think I got it, you know? And I'm playing, and, like, all of a sudden it started sounding really dry, like, no ring at all. I'm like, man, I didn't change this at all. It's weird. I'm trying to tune it, nothing happened. And I flipped the snare around, and the whole side of the snare had crumbled, just caved in. I didn't even see it from the top, but like in the bottom. And I'm like, oh, I think it's time for something I can crank. Yeah. Not have to worry about it. You know? So
exactly.
That's when I got addicted to Noble and Cooley drums.
Ooh,
really.
Shout out Noble and Cooley.
Yeah. But there's even more of a story there. Like it's, if you want to hear it.
Oh, and we do.
Oh yes. So I have a history with Noble and Cooley that goes back a long way. Namely because the factory where they build these is in the town next to where I grew up.
Right.
So they are in Granville, Massachusetts.
Yes, that's right. They are.
And even though they were there, like if you're just coming up through the ranks on any instrument, you're not going to know like all the boutique companies right off the bat.
Yeah.
Right.
And I remember some guy had like a Noble and Cooley kit that he wanted to like sell. And I called the local music store. I'm like, hey, I never even heard of this brand. Like, is this a good brand? And the guy was like, dude, who are you? Yeah. Like you should definitely buy this if you can. Long story short, I didn't buy that one, but it made me realize like, oh, these are actually really good. But
and for those who don't know, Noble and Cooley is literally the first drum builder in the U.S. Those drums that they were using in the Civil War were actually Noble and Cooley drums.
They were. Yeah,
that's true.
I have a tulip wood solid shell snare right now.
Wood.
Tulip is what they used often in the Civil War marching drums. It's native to that area. Great tone. I really like that drum like a whole lot. But there's some, I mean, they use the same machines today that they used to use back in the day to like steam bend the wood. It's a cool process. And over the years, I've gotten to like go up and help them occasionally with like steam bendings, like.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It was like, but the other part of that is the owners at that time, the part of the family, because it for 160 years, I think it was family owned. And then eventually they sold, but the kids of the family who owned it went to my high school.
Wow.
So they, like the Jones family, that was the family that owned it. They took me to my first drum clinic. It was like Will Kennedy and Bob Gatson. And that was like,
That's your first.
It's a good place to start.
Yeah. I'd say.
It was life-changing. Really, it was. Like, I don't know if they know how inspired I was after that. Like, seeing such high-level players before internet, before YouTube, before you could just look up, a 12-year-old doing things that, like, most of us can't.
Even so, nothing replaces seeing that in person. Even the coolest YouTube video is nothing compared to sitting in front of a great player and experiencing that.
You got to highlight what you just said, because it's so much of like you need to go out and see it. That's why I feel like a lot of people panic over AI, but I'm like, listen, I don't care how much into society it gets. Humans want a human connection with humans. Yeah. So, boy, it's really intelligent. But I'm saying like, the
profound.
I've had a couple of concert experiences that like will stay with me forever.
Yeah.
And they don't have to be in massive arenas, but like they're so impactful.
I'm sure we all have.
Yeah. I want to hear about some of yours too, because I have some I'm going to share too. But anyways, long story short about Noble and Cooley is being around that and growing up and seeing, some of what they did gave me an idea about like what drums could be. Yeah. And so in 2002, right after high school, I was like ready for, to bite the bullet, to buy once and cry once. And I bought 10, 12, 14, 16, and 18 by 22 kick. And I've never, like, I've wanted other finishes. Like, oh yeah, this is cool. But like, I've never ever needed anything. Like that's lasted for every kind of gig I've ever been hired for, probably ever could get hired for. Really.
Yeah.
A couple toys here and there are fine, but I've never needed anything else.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You're set. You have a good, solid foundation.
Occasionally, I'll buy another snare, and my wife's like, I thought you never needed anything else. That's funny.
Yeah, but they just did another Zildjian alloy one, so I need that.
Funny story about that. My buddy John, who was one of the family, one of the family members of Noble and Cooley, had one of those snares, and it cracked. I think he dropped it.
Oh, brutal!
And it's you could see him biting his lip to try to pull back the tears. I'm like, oh,
that's rough.
Sorry, buddy.
That's Jay, right?
There's Jay is the owner, or was the owner, and John was his son.
Okay.
And funny enough, one of the people that took over, Nick Jones, is an incredible craftsman, but he was actually a bass player. So, but I mean, he understood, he knew drums. But anyways, long history with those guys.
That's awesome, man. I went to the NAMM show with them in like 2000. It would have been like 2005.
Really?
I was a kid. My dad, his business partner, grew up with Jay.
That's so random.
So we're like, we're gonna go to NAMM, and we're like, I got to go and hang out with them, and obviously hear those, just sit at that booth and hear people play that kit. And I've obviously played those beautiful kits, and they're just such incredible drums.
Yeah,
but yeah, fantastic. They're some of the best in the game. Period.
And you always get a look too, you know. And that's not that I super cared about like that, but like it is cool when somebody that knows drums are like, oh,
exactly, yeah,
wow, you've got that, and you're like, oh yeah, you know.
Well, maybe you agree too. Like typically, like if someone that has that kit is probably a player, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's not like a kit you buy if you're not really doing much, or if you're not like advanced on the instrument. Like that's a very purposeful, intentful purchase.
You always you've heard more of those drums than you realize. Like even there's a studio in Westfield, Massachusetts called like Mainline Recording Studio now, but it used to be called Zing. And that's where they did the majority of like the Kill Switch Engage records, you know, and they had a House Noble and Cooley kit there, a beautiful red one. And that kit made it on a ton of that stuff. Like, you know, they've probably sampled stuff here and there too, but like, yeah, it's been on a ton of stuff.
Yeah. So cool.
Phil Collins' main snare was a Noble and Cooley.
Yeah.
Was it really?
Yeah. Well, even at 1 year I went and they had it set up in the Pearl booth. It was one of the upstairs when the booth was up there. Yeah. And they had his actual kit and the Noble and Cooley. And I was like, there it is. I always heard that it was.
Yeah.
And there it is.
The
one,
cool. The Wallflowers one headlight snare.
Yeah.
Noble and Cooley.
Yep.
A couple other like, you know, super famous ones that I can't think of like off the top of my head, but like, yeah, trust me, folks, you've seen it.
Yep.
You've heard it.
You've heard
you felt it.
Do they normally come to the drum show?
They usually have people there.
Yeah.
And the drum show has grown a lot too. So like, you know, sometimes as things grow, like more and more companies come on. Maybe they'll come this year. I'm not entirely sure, but they were out in person last year.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So one of the people that is now one of the craft builders, I forget his first name, but he had a booth there, Para Drums.
Okay.
I believe it was Para.
Okay.
So he like through that relationship, he's now like crafting some of their drums as well. So
cool.
Yeah, it's a good thing to be at the Nashville Drum Show.
Yeah, quick plug for the show. We'll be there again. Yeah. If you haven't got your tickets yet, by the time this comes out, maybe you'll have a few months. Use the code NDP for 10% off your tickets.
Do you know JC Clifford is the guy?
He is, yeah.
He is one of the best dudes
JC
in the
and Landon,
world.
yeah, they're the power couple.
I met him before I moved to town, probably 2011, I want to say it was, maybe 20. There was a drum clinic up in Connecticut, and he came up and, you know, just, he was working for a different company, and he was just the best guy.
Yeah.
So we've just known each other for that long now, and he had this bold idea to start a drum show, and I'm like, do it. I mean, he didn't consult me on it, but like, I was super happy to see that he did it, because now it's like this cool thing.
Oh, it's massive now. It's arguably the show.
Yeah,
year, you know.
Yeah.
That
besides
plus
like the
you gotta
NAMM
like
and Kasich, like bigger scale.
You gotta charge your social battery before you go in.
Oh yeah,
and it's a lot of noise.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I guess your earplugs. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's loud.
Dude,
we're gonna be the quiet area. We're gonna see how that goes this year.
Which
is somehow it's the quiet area is where the clinics are happening also. So see how that works out.
That'll be fine.
Well, yeah, I think like obviously I think that'll be good because then everybody will be there for the clinical end, and then everybody's gonna be by the booth. So.
Yeah. You guys are going to do
They thought that out. So it's going to be cool.
Are you doing interviews there?
Yeah, we will. We've done it every year.
Yeah. I want to figure out a way to do it, to mess with it a little bit this year.
Yeah, we're always thinking of how do we kind of take it up a notch.
Yeah. Fire.
So
Fire.
Yeah, we're thinking of that.
A notch. You know, fire, sparklers. You know, we'll talk after.
Yeah, we'll talk after.
We can, yeah.
We'll consult. You're going to build our booth for us.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
I mean, you know.
Hey, well, we know you
might
do
not stand
event planning. We'll have to get into that as well. The wedding.
Yeah. That's. I mean, I've been kind of roped. That's one of the unexpected turns that like Nashville will bring you in a cool way. You know, so if anybody out there is considering a move to Nashville, I can firmly say that you should have no expectations of pretty much anything. But that's kind of the best thing. Like, do you really want to know how this all goes?
No.
You want to know how this ends up?
I love finding out as it's happening. Well, that's cool. That happened.
Yeah, I love I love getting a paycheck like, oh, I guess I'm going to be able to pay that bill this week.
That's it. Yeah. You get to continually be grateful rather than being like, yeah, this is what I expected.
It's true. Yeah, it's a weird journey, but like, everything has ups and downs, but the wedding planning part of it came in through my wife, who went to school for like event planning. And one day she just decided like, she's always wanted to do it. And there's a couple of full circle moments in this. And I'm sure you guys have some cool like full circle moments too. But one of mine, just to backtrack really quick, the very first trip that I took to Nashville, I think this was like 2010 or 2011, somewhere around there. So I came to Nashville and I played this thing called the Billy Block Show. Do you guys know Billy Block? It was like Whiskey Jam before Whiskey Jam, kind of.
Gotcha.
And Billy Block was this really charismatic, wonderful man who hosted a show, and it was at I think the Mercury Lounge, second floor of Cannery, for like a long time.
Wow.
He has since he was battling cancer and he passed away. But it's actually his son, Rocky Block, is a really incredible songwriter over at Big Loud. So he's written probably 300 songs we've all heard. But
wow.
The very first thing in the parking lot, Maddie and Tay were walking in from, and they had just
you shared me this
signed,
story. Yeah. At lunch, yeah.
They just signed their deal and like hadn't really launched out of the gates, and they were so sweet. And I was like, oh yeah, come on in, guys. Held the door. And I remember it was so cool to see them because that was the first time when I saw them play. I was like, my God, this is the local talent.
Yeah, this is just like a random Tuesday night.
Like, I need to be here.
Yeah.
Like I need to be at a higher level. Like this is where I'm going to be. It's just Maddie and Tay, like just crushing it.
Yeah.
Years later, in and out of this wedding thing, one of our best friends that was planning with us for a long time, Sarah, was cousins with Tay. And Sarah planned her wedding, but it happened to fall right in the middle of CRS, which is also where my wife works, which just happened this past week.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
And then, so she couldn't do it. Sarah was in the wedding, so she couldn't do it. So like I had to be there, like her and Josh Kerr's day of coordinator to make sure like the whole thing ran smooth. Yeah. So I was like, wow, what a full circle moment this is. Like, wedding planner of the stars. Not really. Like you'll want my wife to plan it, but like maybe I'll be able to show up and
always
sure
trust the drummer.
happens.
I think is the reason that you're good at that.
Well, we're on time.
We're on time.
Schedule's got to move. At least most of us.
Well, I mean, really for full circle, because of course now with Maddie and Tay doing their farewell tour, and Raven, past guest Raven Pfeiffer, has been playing drums on that gig. She's been
awesome.
filling in.
They're going to do fine.
The last few shows here, but
I don't know what they're going to do solo stuff, but they're going to be like they're talented. I'm not worried about them. We'll still hear from them for sure. So. That's not inside knowledge. I'm just like they're not going to stop.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's like a cool full circle moment that I've had since starting here.
Let's talk stage presence. Rezo custom drum heads, powered by FDS Drum Services, is the easiest way to upgrade your look without actually, practicing. Rezo is what the pros are using on world tours right now. They've outfitted some of the biggest names in the industry because these custom heads are chip resistant, affordable, come in multiple finishes, and look incredible. Logos, photos, or that weird drawing your bassist did. If you can dream it, Rezo can print it. Plus, they've got 5-star reviews, lightning fast turnaround, and they even do rush orders for you last-minute legends. Stop settling for good enough and get a custom head that survives the road. Get a free t-shirt with your order at rezoheads.com. That's REZO heads.com. Use code NDPFAM for a listener discount. That's NDPFAM.
Wedding planning is, I don't know, it's kind of teaches you a lot. Like working in the event world has connected me to people. Finding random jobs since I moved to town, not having a network, because now I've been here, for 11 years. Working at coffee shops really helped.
No kidding.
Really helped.
Yeah.
One in particular, Edge Hill Cafe, it's no longer here, but it used to be on Music Row. Do you know where Jack Brown's Burger Bar is?
Absolutely.
There's like a little corner. Now it's a jewelry store, but that used to be like Music Row's cafeteria.
Yeah.
So right before I moved to town, actually, I kind of like hired Rich Redman because I was like, man, I know he's available. Like, you know, he had something about like, hey, you know, we'll do a lesson together. And I'm like, hey, I would love to take a lesson, but I really just want to hear about like,
Just want to talk. Yeah.
what is it like here?
Yeah.
What do I do? Where do I go? And he had some great advice. I mean, he was basically like, just go in, put yourself out and meet as many people as you possibly can. And if you're going to get a job, work in a place where the industry goes and you'll meet everyone.
Yeah, it's really not complicated. But you just have to you have to be smart about it, you know, be intentional about it.
I feel like it's not complicated on the other side of it. But like when you're first getting in,
true.
there's just like so
There's a
many
lot more
layers to
emotion.
that burrito that you're like, I don't know what that flavor is, but I got to figure it out.
Yeah, true.
That's a weird analogy, but
And now I really want a burrito.
you're like, oh, I'm not going to say anything. But yeah, I mean, that Edge Hill Cafe was where like all the artists would go, all of the, you know, the record labels, all the publishers, all the, just everyone in the industry. So that's how my wife met all those people and ended up going into work for CRS. And when she left, which is right when we met, I came in and worked for like 2.5 years. And sometimes the bad part no one really talks about is that like it's hard to get unknown for something. You know, like, oh, you're the coffee guy.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's cool, man. How's it going? You're like, oh yeah, I am the coffee guy who moved here for a career.
But wait, I'm serious about this. Yeah.
But like, you know, but I'm actually like I can actually do something else, you know? So don't be afraid to like if you ever have to get in that situation, like it's better to know someone than not to know someone, but you can't always control like what people know you as.
Yeah, that's good, man.
Because you don't really have a lot of control over that.
How did you sort of, what did you do, if anything, to kind of become, as you said, like unknown for a specific thing? Or did it kind of just happen naturally as you got more gigs?
It did, but like, so you can run a fine line between telling people who you are and then showing them and then pushing it too hard. You know, like if they don't respond to you the way that you think, it's not that they don't know who you are. It just means that they might not need you like right then and there. But they know, you know, and then eventually, like I'm sure we've all experienced like people we met in the past are like, oh, I totally forgot you do this, but like, hey, I need a thing. And then you're like, oh yeah, I'm available. And that's kind of like, it does take a little bit of time. 10-year town, we've all heard that. But like, what really helped me is not putting any expectations on the time because I didn't know. I don't know if I'm 11 years into a 10-year town. We're all still working. Yeah. But like, you know, and I've been able to do some cool things that I've always wanted to do. But you know, it's like just being grateful for the opportunity to actually work as a mindset has really helped me overcome like the terrible gigs that you get. Like, hey, I'm still working though, you know? Could be doing like, you know, I could have a consistent income and push numbers or something like that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I think mentality is just key to like staying in because it's going to take a while for some people and some people not. I mean, we've all seen that too, you know, but you can't be happy for those people.
Yeah, that's good. I'll be honest. I mean, obviously I freaking love doing this podcast. It's probably the best thing that I've done in my life, I can honestly say, besides just being a drummer. But I don't know if you've experienced this, like maybe more in the past year. I've been, let's say I know this happened somewhat recently. I was at a coffee shop with a friend and like they knew some other musicians and they introduced me and they were like, oh, this is Dan. He does the drummer podcast, which like is sick. But like I started to think like, oh, is that like, that's the first thing I'm becoming sort of known for that, which, you know, I should be. We both should be. Yeah. But like, okay, wait, but I don't necessarily want that to be the first thing. It's like, I'm a drummer. I'm here to be a professional drummer. Yes, I do a podcast. Yes, I work for Pearl Drums. Yes, there's other things to me. You know what I mean? So it's...
I would say that...
I'm saying is I relate to that.
Yes, I'm the highest scoring rock band player of all time. My boy.
That's right.
Yes, that... You know what? That's number one.
Yeah, that's number one. Should be number one.
I am number one, actually.
Yes, I'm handsome beyond belief.
Well,
yes, I'm all these things.
To your point, I think like you can only control... Oh my God. Perception, like you really can't control too much. Like we can go into more detail, but okay, well, like what am I posting on Instagram? It's me playing the drums, or it's like...
I'll give you another example that kind of goes into what you're saying. Is so I have more than one job. I play the drums. I also am artist relations for a distributor and a record label out of New York called United Masters.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, I want to get into that for sure.
And I really love the job, and it's my first industry job. But I've learned, man, so much working here, just about how the sausage is made, you know. But the point really quickly.
Sorry,
no, you're fine.
I'm gonna. Yeah, keep going. Sorry, don't let me derail. I'm gonna ask a question about that.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine.
Proud of you, Nate.
If I were to offer any kind of perspective on what you were just saying, hopefully it would be that when people see you, they also know that you have a really deep understanding because you know a lot of people doing this, and you're also, you know, a great drummer. And I know that, but you could look on your page and see that too. But that's, you know, it's kind of the same thing where like from a value perspective of like, what can you bring to the table? I know a lot about the industry side now, which, you know, some of those, it's not an exact science, you know, like there's a lot of music is culture. So you can't really always predict where culture is going to go. And sometimes when you put something out there, this is not a name drop or anything like that, but over the past few days at CRS, I spent a few days with Ella Langley and her crew.
Oh, sick. Awesome. And we just had Howie on.
Yeah,
so fun.
He crushed that show. He's so good. I love seeing him play.
Oh, yeah.
And that was the thing I was bringing up to Ella. I was like, you know, this whole Ella fella thing. I'm like, it kills me. It's so funny.
Ella fella?
Yeah, there's a whole like, there's a thing on like Instagram or maybe TikTok of people that look like they may not be into Ella Langley. And basically they just kind of like close off at the end and be like, I'm an Ella fella. I'm so excited. You know, like from Choosing Texas, that whole single. It's like, it's just a funny video to catch. Like maybe I could find one and send it to you. But I was like, did you put that out there? I'm like, it's hilarious. She's like, no, it just like took a life on of its own. Right. But that was a really like, that's an important thing to know actually. Like, you know, sometimes you put things out there, even as a drummer, like, you know, even like, you don't always get to choose what people know you as, or like what things happen when you put it out there and just let it go as music. Sometimes you can.
Yeah. So true.
It can work both ways, but like typically more often than not, probably not. Right. Which is interesting, you know.
Honestly, that worries me because I feel like I've said some dumb things. I'm like, man, I mean, especially on here, I've said some I've just said some dumb things. I'm like, well, am I just going to be known for this forever? And people are going to be like, I've said things like, oh, I play a lot of notes. I'm like, is somebody going to hear that and go, oh, he always plays a lot of notes. He doesn't know how to not chop. I'm like, I should probably be careful about how I communicate these things.
I know. And it's frustrating because like, well, it's honestly, it's a valid question because even, won't name anyone, but even recently over the past week, I saw some pretty well-known artists with bands that I'm not one to like just point a finger and critique everyone, but there was some like bad overplaying being done where like musically immature. That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
You know, where I could tell someone probably said like, no, we got to make it more exciting. And it might not even be the drummer's fault. Could be just like
the direction.
No, man, we're going to make this outro like 76 bars way longer than it needs to. You just got to keep going. And you know, the guy's probably like, all right, I guess, you know.
Right.
So you don't really know where to point the finger at that. But yeah, if I were like a band leader seeing someone play like that, I would assume, man, they probably overplay. They're probably not exactly the fit for like a lot of gigs. They might fit here.
Totally.
So don't worry about that.
Fair.
That's good.
Fair. Well, I guess I
don't think you should.
It's kind of like watching the Star Wars prequels and being like, man, are these actors really bad? No, I've seen them in other stuff and they're really good. The directing was bad.
Yeah.
I'm like, but that's a little context. Yeah. I want to know because you as you said, I see being on a little bit more on the industry side.
Yep.
You're getting to see how the sausage is made. Has that ruined the sausage for you? Or has it given you more of an appreciation for the sausage? Also, what's your favorite kind of sausage? Spicy Italian or mine?
I thought we were talking about donuts this episode.
I don't know.
Listen, we're in a sausage party now.
We're going to get to
where we
donuts.
are. You can join us or you can stay out of this.
I'm here, baby. I'm in it, yeah.
Big Italian sausage guy.
Yeah.
I'll die on that hill.
Yeah, good.
Something about it, you know. But
we'll save the real food talk for later.
No, seeing how it's made, like on artist relations is a little bit different than A&R. Artist relations is a lot of like handling assets making sure that where things need to be are in the right place. But there's also a greater role in that was not described when I was applying for this, but you just kind of learn along the way. And a lot of it is like a marketing role, you know, whereas A&R is a lot more involved in like the song choice and, hey, this is not a hit, we should probably re-record this, which sometimes it does go into that as well. But the marketing part of it definitely can transcend into drums or guitar, or anyone trying to promote themselves as a musician. And it all boils back. Can I give you my whole thing on this?
Oh, yeah, please.
It might take a second, but like I feel like this is probably
yeah, no,
that's a good point.
We want to hear. Yeah.
Expound, my friend.
So I guess it's more of a theory than anything, but there's always a filtering mechanism in place. There's always a filtering mechanism in place to prevent too many hit artists from being like, you can't, there's only so much room for something to be mega huge, mega big. That's in drums, in business, and anything. There's just so much room at the top. It's very small. That's why pyramids go like this, you know? In like the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, all the way up until recording software started to become really good, the great filter was really money and access to the gear, which is money, really. You know, marketing was definitely part of it, but most bands in those eras could not like afford, even if they had good songs. Like if you were in LA, New York, Nashville, like the places, you were probably having a really hard time getting your music into the right spot to then grow to another level. So you needed a lot of money to either buy the gear that you needed to record, or you just had to have a good budget to like go rent that place and spend some time there, because you couldn't Suno, a demo.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, here's a work tape. Sounds like a polished record would have 20 years ago. So money was the great filter at that point, and then moving forward, when recording software became better and better and better, and streaming came along, and everything became more accessible, the filter switched over. It's still money to some extent, because you do need money for a lot of things, but it switched from money to saturation. Now that everybody can make a really good sounding record, everyone kind of does. You know, like there's in distribution. I mean, God, there's like 1,100 songs a week that come out that are great.
Yeah.
It's a great song. Sounds awesome, So AI will only further that, because like now, again, like the fact that you can hum something randomly in your head and it can turn a voice memo into like a whole production. And not everyone's going to try to do that, but like you can do it. So the saturation part of it is like, it's making it harder and harder for artists to really stand out. So what that means is it really has to turn back to a few different places. And again, this is transcending. Could be drummers, could be guitar players or musicians or artists or whoever. It's all about narrative. It's all about story. Like for the same reason why when you look at American Idol or any of those like competition shows,
Voice,
it's like how the background of that works. So I've heard, anyways, is oh hey, you can sing amazingly. I'm really glad that you're applying to the show, and so can you. Which one of you, like family members, have like cancer? Is anyone missing a leg? Can you nub out on the? It's like, what is the story other than the fact that you're just talented that we can sell people?
Right, dude. You're 100% right.
And in our marketing meetings, like they don't go to that level, but like in our marketing meetings for the company that I work for, like we've talked a lot about our exclusive artists and how we're going to launch something out. We've shared ideas, and we're just trying to get to the root of like what's going to resonate with people to get them to attach to the artist, not just the album, but like to follow a career. Because whether you're a drummer, very few drummers and very few artists have a career that just does this all the time. I mean, even the greats, it's like they're known for big stuff, but they may not always be here all the time. You don't get to see that behind the curtain, but like ebbs and flows, and we call them tentpole moments. So, you're really just looking to capitalize on the big tentpole moments of an artist and carry it forward. And where that comes into drums is, if you, as we know, it's pretty locked up in the studio scene, and there's ways to get around that. I came to Nashville with dreams of recording and like being a recording drummer, and I still occasionally get called for sessions, but like not like some of my heroes that very rightfully are here doing stuff.
Still doing it.
Yeah. And that's not me going, oh, I wish, it's like, man, these guys are great. that's part of what switched me over from like heavy metal and rock, and I lived in that world for a long time, to go into country, because I was just so like, it wasn't what they were playing, it was like what they weren't playing. I was like, whoa, you know, like I would never have done that, Phil. Chad Cromwell, I'm calling you out, like in a cool way.
Yeah.
I'm like, God, that's so awesome. Like, what a unique thing. And I'm sure like if you listen to enough Nashville records, you can see like, you know who's playing on the record. Like I know when Nearsy's playing a track.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, some of those Jerry Rowe feels.
Yeah. Because we all play, like all of us have to play their music so much that like you get intimately in touch with that.
Exactly.
And I like being able to do that. But, you know, they all have their own unique story. And yeah, so I mean, that's kind of a little bit of a sidebar.
Hey drummers, do you need a place to practice on actual drums? Drumbox has locations in Lafayette and Longmont, Colorado, and their newest location is right here in Nashville, Tennessee. You can book sessions online and get the space to yourself. Each Drumbox location is fully equipped with 2 kits, cymbals, hardware, and even sticks are provided. 30-minute, 1-hour, and 2-hour sessions are available at www.drumbox.space. Use the coupon code ANDP25 for 25% off your first session. The coupon code is valid at all 3 locations. Again, that's www.drumbox.space.
If you're, and that's how you can become an asset to your artist, is like, if you want to take some time and read a book like Building a Story Brand 2.0 and learn that part of things. You know, a lot of artists they're having to cover a lot of ground. I got to record this stuff. I got to write good music. Then I got to figure out how many TikToks I'm going to do and how many, like, what's your content schedule like? What does all of this look like? And some artists have a team for that. Some artists have a team for that and they're not very good.
Yeah.
You know, even the teams sometimes are guessing because you ultimately have to respond to like what people are responding to themselves.
Yeah. As you said, the changing culture.
Yeah.
Right.
If you want to be a drummer that is popular on like the internet, then you probably should look at YouTube and not just Instagram, and learn the ins and outs of like how the algorithm really works. What times a day should you be posting? You know, like that. I'm not an expert in that, but I know like if I were to try to do that, that's what I would look at.
Yeah.
Is like experimenting to see what happens first. You could take one of those content courses too. I've never taken them, but sometimes it helps.
So like HubSpot or something.
Yeah, there's a few people online that like, oh wow, this is the same post, but one got 6 million views and the other one, you know, I flushed down the toilet, and you're like, okay, you know. So there's things like that. And I'm sure we all have opinions on people that like don't play live anymore, but just play on the internet, which I think is kind of like, sometimes it's cool, but sometimes I'm like, man, I like playing live.
Yeah.
You know, like I feel bad for you.
Right.
Like,
It's kind of depressing.
you're probably making a whole lot more money than we are, but like maybe, I don't know, you know.
Right.
Making a $700-800 a week paycheck from Instagram. I mean, I wouldn't really complain at it.
I wouldn't be mad at that.
Wouldn't be mad at it.
Man, well, I just really appreciate you sharing that. It's a really interesting perspective. I think that most of us don't have. I think you're absolutely right too. I mean, someone that also works in marketing, it's, as you said, it's all about the storytelling. To like, how do you separate? As you said, it's all, the quality is pretty much all there now. It's like, what is going to be that difference maker?
And you know, we're all creatives here. You know, like at least, I mean, most of us are. And I don't know if you guys ever saw this thing where, oh God, what was it? It was like how accurate drummers have to be. Like the mistake ratio that's acceptable before somebody says that's a bad drummer versus like a guitar player or a singer or someone else. The first time I saw that, I don't know. All right, I'm going to kind of break it down for anyone who's not seen that.
Yeah, please, I haven't seen it.
I don't remember the exact video, but this is the gist of what was said. It was like, you know, a guitar player is allowed like a certain percentage of like full, you know, flat or just clams as they're playing without anybody even really knowing at all that that person is making a mistake.
Yeah.
Obviously, some of the glaring ones you'll probably know right away, but like drums have to be basically 99.999% accurate all the time. You can't miss anything or barely anything before people are like, oh yeah, I saw, yeah, you had a little trouble there.
Yeah.
So, but the reason I'm saying that is because that mindset of like, you're used to having to be perfect kind of all the time.
Yeah.
So that you can carry that forward into a lot of different aspects of your life. Like I like the creative aspect of this job as well, because you can help people with their marketing strategy and this and that. But like, if drummers are creators, we are accurate, we are highly, usually, anyways. I mean, like the people that are on the pro level, we take it very seriously. We're willing to learn, and when you are trying to get into an artist camp, that it's okay to remind them, I think, in like a friendly way, like, hey, I have all these other qualities as well. And like, prove through your work that you are of value in more than just like caveman level stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not that it's
1000%.
caveman, but
I love that. Yeah.
So there's a lot of ways you can kind of differentiate yourself from other people.
That's opportunity. I mean,
Yeah.
set yourself out. I've seen that, especially in Nashville. So many young artists that, they don't have a team. They're too young. There's no budget. And like, sometimes I see, I'm like, man, I could do this a lot better. But like, there's also a balance where it's like, you don't want to overstep. Like if you get called to do a fill-in drum gig, maybe don't say how you're gonna overhaul their marketing strategy in the first.
No,
but there's ways to, like, as you said, make that known to the camp and to the artist. And
I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
When you get calls to fill in for any level, really, just like a buddy, what is your approach usually to like how, let's say you don't get any charts, you don't get any live tape, nothing. They're just saying, hey, I can't do this gig. It's a 75-minute set. It's all originals. A couple little transitions. They'll kind of walk you through, like, what's your approach to that? What are you guys doing?
I mean, this is under the assumption I'm saying yes to it, because if I'm filtering out.
It pays $7.
Yeah. Well, if it pays $7, but the hang is sick and the music is sick, then I'll go
the
for
old
it.
gig triangle.
Exactly. The gig triangle as ever is in place.
Yep.
But if those things are up to snuff, then I'm literally, I don't do charts.
No charts, really?
I don't do charts.
That's awesome.
I don't know. I just don't do it.
I mean, if you can do that, that's great. That's cool. It almost shows like, man, this guy showed up. He didn't even, like, he already had it.
Yeah, you just
didn't even
listen
need charts.
over and over and over.
I listen to them a lot, and I just really spend some time in those songs. I'll play them a bunch of times. I'll do it where I'm like really trying to do exactly what I'm hearing. I do it where I'm adding a lot more of my voice to it, and then I try to show up to that situation being like, I know how to do it just like I heard it.
Yeah.
And I also know enough about, if I were given full permission, this is kind of how I would approach it. And then I ask a little bit like, hey, how close do you want me to play this to this? And how much, I'm like, what I thought would be, if they're like, oh, I want your artistic voice, then that's a whole different thing.
It's wide open.
Yeah.
Let's go. Yeah.
What you got? How about this? What about a halftime right here? Bet you never thought of that.
I already had that long. I already had that practice.
Yeah.
Are you guys typically putting in, let's say that there's like 3 weeks of advance notice that you're going to play this? Like, how much time are you putting into the prep on the back end?
Well, it's funny. I'm kind of the opposite. I'm very chart heavy if I need to be, or if I have enough time, I don't want to have a chart. But a lot of times it is only a few weeks or a few days. And I'm going through that right now as we're talking. I have like a bunch of sub fill-in gigs in the next few weeks.
That's great.
Where I'm like, Andrew Bone said this on the last episode of kind of like tapering it.
Andrew's a good guy.
Yeah, he's great. Of like, the first show upcoming, I'm going all in on that. Then I'm going to start the chart the next weekend. And then like, if I'm like super prepped, then like, yeah, I'll get a head start in the charts. But maybe I'm not actually playing anything. Yeah, I'm like just getting the charts ready. And then once the first show's over, okay, on to the next one.
So you do charts. You don't do charts.
What do you do?
I do charts because I'd rather chart than chart.
Yeah, we've.
Welcome back to Charts or Charts.
Oh my God. Dude, you're full of a good
Sorry, no, I didn't
today.
even plan that when I was.
Yeah, I remember we
that's a great
exchanged charts last
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
So everybody makes charts differently.
Sure do.
Some are chicken scribbled and thanks to Jim Riley for the book on the Nashville number system. Because before I had that, I didn't have any real clear. I had my own version of it, but it was just like, it wasn't accurate. And what I kind of learned how to do was based off of what he kind of wrote down. So he gave a nice little roadmap to how to do it. I like to take as much time charting as I can. Not because, you know, I'm a little slow, which I'm sure I'm a little slow in some ways. But like, I find that the listening time, the time that like I'll notate the fills, you don't have to do that at all. But like, if it's a really specific one, maybe. But I like to put myself in touch with the writing of it because I'm listening to it over and over. And I find that I don't have to concentrate so hard on the chart. Because I've done this a million times. Like now I know the structure. It's super clean. Because I mean, if you're charting, if you're having to read it on stage, you're probably, you know, that's the only chance you're gonna have to get it right. Maybe you'll have a rehearsal, but I've done a ton of shows where like, you know, even like Chase Bryant, who is super talented. Like I don't know if you guys have ever worked with Chase, but like
I haven't. No.
I think the last like couple of records, it's literally all him. It's like Prince, you know, like drums
sick.
Done in his like attic, but like it sounds incredible. So he's very dialed in to like what he wants, or at least what it should be. And we actually flew to Japan. I'll tell you.
Whoa.
Tell you a chart. I'll craft this into a story. That was the only time I've been to Japan, and it was 2022 September, maybe like 3 weeks ahead. I played one time with him before as like a fill-in, and this one I think some of the other guys like no one had their passport, so I was like, okay, well I got a passport, cool, in. And I don't think we knew what we were playing for sure. I think it was like 30 minutes to 45 minutes before the show. But like his music is not like, you know, Meatloaf or something like that with like, you know, tons of crazy specific hits. Like sometimes there is that. So like you can kind of feel it out and your chart's going to be a little bit more like structure based than like accurate fills. But still like flying halfway around the world and not knowing what you're going to be playing on the plane, you're like, all right, man, here we go. It ended up being fantastic. It was a really, really fun show. No tracks. So, you know, we all got to let loose a little bit.
Nice.
But that was like super scribble tracks, like, okay, or not, charts, just to get the structure down and make sure I had the down sections and all that kind of stuff too. But we didn't take it too seriously. He'll cue you. He'll go out there and have fun and riff like a 20-minute guitar solo and it's sick. So like sometimes that kind of stuff happens, but you know, you don't really need it.
Right.
And I've been called to sub for some other guys with like very specific live arrangements of stuff with like transitions and like tons of outro stuff and the charts. Maybe I even showed you one that was just like, I crammed it on one page, but you're like, oh my God. You know, you're like, please get through this. It's there. It's all there. But like, can you do it and read it?
Helps. Yeah. But yeah, I think that's the name of the game, right? Like if you are going to have a chart, especially if there's no rehearsal. Yeah. Like that chart needs to be so bulletproof that it's going to get you through the show. Yeah. You said you get one shot at it.
I don't like to just get through the show though. I'll listen to that stuff until the moment we walk on stage.
Yeah, it's good. I find it's a good way to practice. Like charting is actually not playing the parts, but it's a good way to, as you said, still listen to the song over and over. And I've been filling in for Sammy with Shane Prophet, and still to this day, I've never had one rehearsal with that camp.
That's great.
I've just had great charts.
His crew is great too.
Oh yeah,
Shane's
great.
Awesome. Yeah. Cool voice.
Love him.
Yeah, he's I think Triple Tigers. He's on.
Yes, the new label. Yeah.
Yep, and that team is great. We know a lot of those guys. They're fantastic. Yeah. So so you're filling in with them on a kind of show by show basis.
Yeah, I think I have like 2 dates this year so far.
That's cool. Yeah. Well, if I have to take any dates off, I'll call you boys. Let's see. I got charts for you.
We'll duke it out. Yeah, we'll see who.
You can show them to me, and I'll just go.
No, they're not bad. I promise you. You know, it's nothing. You know, none of.
I showed you my charts. Mine are like obsessively neat. I think I'd say like they are because I use Sibelius and I screenshot the notations and it's 100% digital. There's no handwritten because I was honestly kind of tired of getting charts from other drummers and musicians, maybe a great chart and accurate, but it was like, you know, chicken scratch, things crossed out, not consistent font sizes. And it's just like, that's a headache. I'm trying to play and I'm like trying to decipher. I need it to be super clear, at least for my brain.
Well, you know, it's funny, like kind of like that's a real, by the way, this is no way putting you down. I actually think that what you're able to do is a huge strength because as long as you're familiar with the material and you know the changes, and I got to give a story about this. When I was first getting into town and learning like the Broadway set list, everyone in town knows Will Easterwood. I think. Anyways, you know, he's
maybe not.
I don't think
no.
I do, yeah.
Oh, well,
You
sorry,
met the
Will.
two.
Trying
You
to-
met the two people
guys.
who don't.
Yeah.
Right now, I think he's drum teching.
This is the key to unlocking the towel. We just need to know what this guy is. What's he up to?
Well, Will, I mean, he's a great drummer, but like he's now teching for on the John Party gig, you know,
Okay, cool.
with Kevin.
Yeah.
And I just remember this because, like, you know, these kind of things stick with you about like learning experiences where he was playing at some club that's probably not even there anymore, which is most clubs downtown anymore.
Right.
And he's like, oh yeah, we had talked to him a few times before, and he invited me up with the band that was killer to sit in for a tune. And I didn't know anything. I was like, yeah, okay. I was nervous and shaking, you know, and he gave me the opportunity, and fortunately, the song that they went with was like The Fireman. So he's like, just
Nice.
play, just as straight as it gets. And I'm like, okay, cool. So we made it through that one fine. But where it went wrong wasn't on that one. It was like at Legends. I'm trying to think who was maybe Chris Schrader, I think, was playing at that time.
Chris, yeah.
Which a lot of people know Chris too, but I'm not assuming anymore. He was playing down there, and I also knew his guitar player. Eddie, who plays with Tyler Hubbard now, and that's a whole other thing too. Eddie's great. But he invited me up, and they played Dixieland Delight,
Nice.
and I didn't know that one either.
I just posted a video from the Utah wedding of us
We
doing
do
that.
Dixieland Delight.
Do like 800 BPM. It was crazy.
That's not the kind of song you want to just jump into, never hearing it before.
Yeah, right. Yeah, especially like some of those hits.
And Eddie knew that going in. Poor guy. He's like, I'll never forget the look on his face. Oh my God. He was like, oh, what are we doing? What are we doing? He's like, oh, we're doing Dixieland Delight. Cool. All right. He's like, you ever played it? I'm like, nope. He's like, oh no. Oh no. God. And I'm like, oh, is it that kind of song? He's like, just watch me, I guess. We made
Hold
it
on,
through,
yeah.
but like
Yeah.
another one where I'm like, at least Will threw me a song that I'm like could totally get through, but like not knowing the Broadway set list and how things are done downtown sometimes.
Yeah.
Would have loved to chart in that situation.
Sure. Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
that's like if I don't know where I'm going, I would rather have a chart. But if I've paid attention to the music, you know, it feels free not to have to look at a page. You can do it.
It's true. Yeah. I would having that available to you and being able to look at it and go, okay, I get the structure.
Yeah.
That's very nice. And that's something that I am missing out on. I'm perhaps foolishly, but I have chosen to err to the side. I'm like, I want to get this stuff to a level of instinct.
Yep.
That's what I really want to, like, I would even rather be like, no, I don't know that, and I'm not going to read the thing. I would rather miss that opportunity and then get the thing like, no, you played that and it was like on a DNA level locked in. That's what I
You know,
want.
the good thing about country too is like you can kind of do that with a lot of songs. Like rock is a lot harder because it's so specific.
Yeah.
I'm going to vibe out, some specific like, Bon Jovi tunes where like, or imagine if you're trying to play, a lick. Oh, we're playing in the key of D in Bon Jovi. Like, no, there's specific riffs. Like you can't just
Yeah.
if you're not going da 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 da, like you could probably fudge through that, but
Right,
everyone
everyone's
knows
gonna know-
specific
exactly.
parts.
Yeah.
Have you ever played In the Air Tonight? Well, there's a big fill. You're not going to want to miss it, but you don't know what it is. Like,
Yeah.
can't really.
Digga.
Still grows, no stranger to you and me.
That'd be cool. That'd be
Do
cool.
it. Honestly,
At least that's referencing another well-known Phil. Yeah,
that's a viral hit right there.
exactly.
I'm gonna do that.
have you done that?
No, but that's
Now you are.
there's a
That's-
band with my multiple situations downtown. I'm doing that. I will insert that Phil, the Phil from First Date, sometimes the In the Internet Phil. What else? Oh, Smooth, of course. That's going in, and I'm just trying to find the spot where I can get them and they're not expecting it and throw the singer off. I'm just going to say it right now. I'm trying to do that.
You're entering Ethan territory.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
He's been at that territory for a while.
I've been living even back in California before I moved here. I was still 12 years ago. I was doing that. I'm like, I'm going to find I haven't done it. The longer I've been here, the more comfortable I've gotten in these gigs, the more I'm like, I know the right moment where I'm like, I can do it, and I bet I can make them laugh.
Wow, what part of California are you from?
From way up north, Redding.
Redding. Oh, haven't been there, but here's the place you can go.
It is a place you can go. I'm not sure
good. I was
why
using
you would, but you could.
I think Northern California is beautiful.
It is. When it's not on fire, it's great.
but it's not on fire.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Or the South for that much too. I mean, the whole state's like various times of the year. You just, it's an inferno.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. We're out in LA. Coming to Nashville. We only have tornadoes.
Yeah.
And floods every 10 years
Ice
or something.
storms, yeah.
Ice storms, yeah. It's
We're fine.
Yeah, you'd be fine out here. Don't worry about that, Yeah.
There's two things I want to say. One is already you're one of my favorite guests that we've had on here.
Oh, geez, thanks.
And the second thing is I'm going to go pee in Taylor's driveway because I'm about to die.
Don't die. Go pee.
Do we keep that in? That's going to be so
Yeah,
funny.
I would keep it in. Why not?
You never know what he's going to say, honestly.
Well, that's what makes something interesting.
How do you get the perfect Nashville kick drum tone? It starts with a Lowboy Leather Daddy bass drum beater. This leather-faced beater occupies the sonic space between felt and wood beaters. It's punchy enough to cut through the mix on those 4-on-the-floor barn burners with the warmth you need for slow ballads. Okay, but who plays a Leather Daddy? Garrett Goodwin from Carrie Underwood's band uses one. Lee Bryce drummer Donnie Marple plays a pair. Walk down Broadway any night of the week and you're going to hear one. In Nashville, you can test drive a Lowboy beater at Drumbox and grab one at Forks, Drum Supply, or Nelson's. Check out lowboybeaters.com to learn more.
Oh, man, I do have a story. Not about Curtis Blow.
You're
but
full of stories. I loved it.
Listen, I've lived a life. All right? I've lived a life.
Listen, I've lived
Experience.
Well, hey, I'll tell you some of my crazier stories. You guys want to hear them?
book, bro.
I've lived a life.
Listen,
man.
I've lived a life.
Okay. Just in no particular order, as these come up, I'll tell you the stories because some of them are really crazy. I don't know. I hesitate to tell this one, but here we are.
We can always edit it out. Don't worry.
The NAMM show, probably 2009, I think this was. I was so excited to go. And actually this, being a part of, this is actually a good point to make. Going out to Music City Drum Show or any drum show or a trade show and being around other people that are trying to do what you do now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, oh yeah, that has really shaped some of the decisions I made with my whole life. And here is kind of a sad story about it is one of the reasons I moved to Nashville is geographically being so close to so many different cities, you could be kind of a weekend warrior, and of course, you'll go out for longer, but there's two things. I was very fortunate to grow up where I did, when I did. It was New England, Massachusetts in the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s. Was huge bands were coming out of that particular area. There was Stained, of course, everybody knows Stained. Rest in peace, John Wysocki, who also left an impact on me. I saw Stained in a bowling alley at a local
really?
show.
Whoa. Wow, man.
Games and Lanes in Agawam. And I never forgot it because John had this beautiful, sparkly purple pearl kit with the gold hardware on it. And I was like, I'll never forget it. I was I've never seen that. It's awesome.
That's so sick.
And they were just on the cusp of breaking out, so they hadn't really even done anything yet. And then the metal band that I was in was playing a lot with Killswitch Engage at that time. The guitarist Joel was teaching our guitarist lessons. So man, this is all sorts of sidebars, but this all will tie in.
You're good.
So here are some really crazy ones. So the Killswitch Engage guys, or at least Joel, used to teach at Performance Music in Westfield. Whose father, it was owned by Matt Garska's father.
Oh, yeah.
And Matt lived a couple of miles away from me. So there's just so much talent. I'm not even the same earth as Matt.
Right.
Matt's incredible.
Not many are.
I'm just, I'm dipping in the pocket. I'm staying there, and too many kids to practice to get up to that level now.
Yeah.
So thanks, Matt. You're gonna smoke me forever. No, but he's great. But the whole point is, sometimes I used to play with Matt's dad in blues bands, stuff like that. It was really fun. But that area had such a tremendous amount of talent that it kept you going, which is the thing I saw here in town. I was like, man, the talent was everyone was succeeding. So it made me want to like try hard. And there were so many great drummers that I'm like, man, it wasn't about me like, oh, I'm better than this guy. But I was like, wow, I can learn so much. Like, this is great.
100%.
Like, I feel pushed to do as good as I can instead of just being comfortable, you know? So that was a really, really important thing. You should always end up somewhere where it's going to push you to be the best version of this mortal coil that you got.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's why so many of us have moved here from
Yeah.
historically from not Nashville, from other cities.
Yes.
They wanted just that,
Big fish, small pond.
Yeah.
You don't usually get the best results from that all the time. Like it's not, so there's that mentality. So growing up around those guys and seeing Killswitch would tour relentlessly. I mean, they were gone for, 2-3 months at a time, sometimes longer, overseas. At that time, they didn't really have like a lot of families or anything like that. But, 3 months out, you're exhausted. I mean, they would come back home and they would be so just they couldn't exist. Like, it takes you a long time to become human again. But that being said, over to the NAMM show, I had the fortunate experience of, and they will remain nameless, but I got to meet a few of my biggest drum heroes, and I got to go to dinner with these guys.
No way.
And I'll never forget this because it was cool to be in their presence as like, not an equal, because I'm not equal to these guys, but as like, hey, I'm sitting at the same table. Like, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And you know what? It made me really sad because most of these guys were divorced and their kids like kind of hated them because they were just gone so much.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, there's like a heavy toll sometimes when you do this. Like, get ready for that, and I have a wife still, and like my kids don't hate me, but like that was part of the thing here.
As
like,
eye-opening for you.
Yeah, and it was important because like I'm a family guy.
Sure.
I love my family, and I try to spend as much time as I can, with them, so they know who I am.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a big eye-opening thing. But here's what the funny part is: that same NAMM, I took a short elevator ride. We were staying in the Hilton Hotel. Oh man, we took a short elevator ride.
Those NAMM elevator rides really hit.
And I think we were on like the 11th floor or something like that. And we had to go down to the 3rd floor, or maybe it was the lobby at this particular one. But I walk in, drop a floor, and Bootsy Collins walks in.
Yo.
And Bootsy and his whole crew. And I'm like, he's in the whole... It's not like sweatpants Bootsy. It's like the whole garb,
He can see around corners. Yeah.
Oh man, I'm gonna get in trouble for this. But and I thought he was a great guy. There's nothing wrong with him at all. But homeboy cut the wettest, grossest fart I've ever heard in my life. Like pilot station 3 a.m. truck driver level of gas. No one acknowledged it on his team. I mean, dude was like right there in front of me. I'm like, that is Bootsy.
That's the king of funk right there.
Yeah, he walked out a couple floors later and totally left me with the funk. True story.
Yeah.
True story.
You were editing in old Greg into this. I'm telling you, you don't even know what that is, but you're going to find out. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Exactly what you're talking about.
My goodness, I'm
See,
so
and that's
excited.
why I love this podcast is just they're just talking to people. It's like when would you hear that story?
I just feel like I'm going to get a call in a few weeks, be like, hey, this is Bootsy Collins' lawyer.
Yeah, right.
Yes, we're going to have to retract that.
He's got gas.
I got a 7-layer burrito for you.
Bootsy.
Yo.
Dude, Bootsy Collins, bro.
Dude,
Stop.
Crazy. That's crazy.
one of the best. Like, can't say anything against him as a player. That's for sure.
Well,
And
yeah.
I'm sure he's a sweet guy. I saw him another time during that thing, and he was super nice. Actually, on that same NAMM show, I remember trying to learn Cubase at that time, and I didn't recognize the guy working there, but it was Peter Frampton.
Oh.
And he was like, just stopped by the booth just to like say hi to some of the people he knew, and I thought he worked there, so I was like, hey, how do you do this? I don't even remember what I asked him, but he's like, oh, yeah, you just gotta pull this drop down menu and click this, and then I saw his name tag, and I was like, oh my, are you like, like the guy Frampton? Like really? That was kind of funny.
You're not Peter Frampton, right? You're a different one.
Where'd you get that name tag?
Guitarist.
Yeah.
Framption.
Oh my god.
No, I mean, it's just like I love going to shows like that because you get to run into so many people like that. So anyways, go out to trade shows if you can because you'll meet and have experiences and like kind of shape maybe craft or inspire you to do something the same or different.
Yeah, man.
So that's kind of cool. Oh man, I don't know. I'm just upset. I don't even know where to go with these stories.
They're good. I
Like,
appreciate
I
you
have
sharing
so
everything
many.
and
It just made me think. I was at the Roland booth at NAMM one year, and it was just one guy doing the demos on one of the kit. It was one of the higher end ones from the year because they had Johnny Rabb doing one of the like a little lower end and just making it look just so sick. He was so sick. And then this guy had to do the high. Oh yeah,
Gravity blasts. All
so
over, you know.
He's so, I love him.
He's the best.
And just the sweetest dude. But this dude was just talking to one guy and just sweating bullets. And I'm like, who's he talking to? And it's just literally Simon Phillips asking him questions about, I'm like, so how does this work? I'm like, yeah, I'd be sweating too. If Simon Phillips is like, so I need to know about this element of your
Tell
product.
me about,
Like,
I had actually Johnny Rabb, glad you brought him up. I've always looked up to you because I thought like, you know, he's been such a, well, kind of like Bob Gatson in a way where like, incredible player, but kind of an innovator too.
yes.
Yeah.
You know, like Bob Gatson, I don't know how much you guys know about Bob, but Bob created Noble and Cooley drums. Like he was the designer behind all that. And he created like nodal mounting and all sorts of stuff, like ways to build the shells. And at that time in the 80s, like nobody was doing that. And a lot of people have like licensed from Noble and Cooley on that. But, you know, he also created like a bunch of Evans stuff and like master sound hi-hats, you know. Wow. He was an inventor. But anyways, getting back to Rabb, maybe 2006, I think, was PASIC in Austin. I want to say it was. I had a former instructor, a good friend, Mark Manzik, that I remember I was going to be at this show, and I was so nervous about going up to like Thomas Lang and all these guys that are super cool, Benny Greb, and you know, eventually I talked to all of them, but they were going to this one place called the 1-to-1 Bar. I'm like, yeah, we're having a little after party. And I think Rabb was living in Nashville at that time. He's like, yeah, we have a band that's kind of flew out for the show, just playing covers and stuff. Yeah, you should come out. You know, he didn't know who I was, so he's like, whatever, come out to the show. Went out to the show. And after the band had to go to the airport to fly back, like, I don't know why I did this, and I'm thinking about this. The band had to fly back, so now it's like Will Calhoun, Benny Greb, Thomas Lang, Johnny Rabb. I feel like I'm forgetting someone, but like, the guys, especially at that time too. And they were all just trading drum solos, you know? So like they'd hand off a stick and someone would get up and the next guy would sit in. And I came up with a great idea. I'm like, I'm going to ask him. I'm going to sit in. I'm going to do this because my drum teacher told me, hey, you know what? You got to take chances. He probably meant just like go say hi. Hey, nice to meet you.
No, I'll even say that's exactly what your drum teacher meant, but I want to hear how it went.
I barely remember because I blacked out a little bit. But I remember this is basically how it went. It turns out I was actually the last person to go.
Yeah.
So Thomas Lang is up there doing doubles at 290, you know, or whatever, like just cruising. Yeah. And the bartender came up and was feeding him shots, and he's just doing the stick. I mean, everyone's there like, whoa. I am shitting because I'm next. Like he's gonna hand his sticks off to me, and I have to go after that.
Yeah.
And I got news for y'all. I'm not Thomas Lang. Like I could do some things sometimes, but I'm not even close to that
Some
level.
things sometimes. That's so good.
But yeah, I remember sitting down in the kit, and I really don't even remember what I did.
Yeah.
What I do remember is they were all in the front row, folding arms, watching me.
Gosh.
Because I was the last guy on the stage. And I mean, they have no idea that I'm like what I'm talking about right now. But I will never forget that.
Of course, yeah.
And I did whatever I did, and I remember a few of them came up and they were like, honestly, like, it's not that you're bad. It's just that I couldn't believe that someone from the audience would want to like be incorporated into this. And I was like, I don't know, man.
Kind of shocked came up here.
Yeah,
but cool,
you know,
man.
as I'm like,
glad you did.
You know, they probably think I had some disease shaking so hard.
Like, oh, he's special. We got to be nice to him.
At the end of the day, though, like taking a chance like that is not something I would probably ever do again. But like, you know, it's a story. And guys, why are we doing this? Why are we doing any of this? At the end of the day, I mean, hopefully we have our memories, you know, that could be questionable too, but like, it's just about the life you live, the experiences you get to do, you know, like the fact that I had so many crazy things happen, and we all have, you know, is why I started doing this, you know, so I can have a good quality of life and have some really good times.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, man, I'm trying to save these other stories. I'm like, oh my God, I can't tell some of these.
It is about the stories and being able to
The narrative.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, not taking yourself too seriously, right?
Yeah. That's no taking me seriously. Maybe a little.
Clearly not, yeah.
Maybe a little.
You've heard of Drum Supply, but you gotta see their shop. It's a drum shop experience like no other. They're packed with all the gear a working drummer needs, and so many parts, noise toys, and accessories. It's a toy store. Curated cymbals, kits, and snares. The hands-on percussion room is nuts, and their custom shop work is fast and affordable. Andy and the guys know their stuff, and they're ready to help. And the big news? They've just moved to an awesome new location near the corner of East Trinity Lane and Dickerson Pike. Still in East Nashville, just a couple miles from their old spot, the all-new Drum Supply is twice as big, featuring a dedicated cymbal room, a lesson space, and even more drum gear than ever. Go see the new Drum Supply shop for yourself. Now open 11 to 5 at 2211 Dickerson Pike and online at drumsupply.com.
We've talked about a lot. This has been fantastic. I want to learn more about the gig with Logan Crosby.
Yeah.
Because you've been on that gig for many years now.
It's been about, I think, 3 years.
3 years, okay.
Right from the start.
Sure. Yeah, just get into like how you landed the gig, what sure. tour has been like, where you guys are at in 2026 as well.
So this Logan is the job I've been looking for, because what I mean by that is I have played with some groups, you know, respectfully shall be nameless, that were kind of like more a part of the way down in your career, which again, like that's not even a bad thing necessarily, because, you know, everyone's working and, you know, you're still playing. That's totally fine. But I've always wanted to be a part of like something on the way up, you know, exciting. It takes a lot of work and sometimes sacrifice too, just because, you know, so much goes into the mystery of, will this even work? You know, do I even know? Like, none of us really know the answer to that. Yeah. But how I met Logan first was he was being managed by someone who I met at Edge Hill Cafe many years prior to that, who had worked at Big Machine and then started her own publishing company. Logan's history is that he was on a TV show. I don't know. I'm assuming no one knows anything about him here, so I'm just going to like go from the start. The TV show was called Claim to Fame on ABC. And I believe it was like the biggest show that ABC had on that year, like the most successful reality show. Okay. And the whole plot of the show was like hosted by the Jonas Brothers. The plot of the show was everybody had a celebrity relative on the show. And you had to like guess who it was. I think I've only seen like half of one episode so far, and they took it off. So I haven't really seen the show. But I know who didn't win.
Premise. Yeah, never heard of that.
It was on for like 3 seasons, but like definitely the first season was with him was the best because he got to showcase the thing. Logan has a special it factor. Like it's hard to explain, but when you know, it's his personality. You know, like he's a really, really wonderful guy. He has a huge heart. He's one of my best friends in the world, and I would say that on or off camera. Like we've been through a whole lot together. So he's one of the only people I've met in this industry on the artist side who would lay down his life for his crew. He really, really would. Yeah. So huge props to Logan on that. So we met and started playing together. There was a few somewhat iterations of the band, just trying to find like the right fit. And then as we started growing and touring, this is also interesting. This combines a lot of like my life experience here, right? Yeah. So started playing out, put out an EP, which I still love. It's his first EP. Started gaining traction. We started playing some more festival shows. And then we started to kind of recently pivot, not out of country entirely, but like as an artist evolves, sometimes their sound can evolve.
Sure.
And it's, you know, it's getting to a really cool and unique spot where like his voice, oh, by the way, I didn't tell you. So on the show, Jason Aldean is his cousin. That's why he was on the show.
Okay.
So Jason has like a really distinct voice. You know, there's like a quality to his voice. Yeah. And Logan also does too, but not in the same exact way, but like it's there. There's something there that is really, really unique about it. So almost imagine like a pop sound, but not pop like bubblegum pop, but like I almost want to say like Harry Styles with like a country voice over it. But it works. It's not like someone trying to do something. Right. You could tell it's natural. Like, yeah, it's genuine and it works. But you know, we're still kind of experimenting with the sounds. He's doing a lot of writing. But yeah, we've done some pretty cool, really cool shows. We were on the Rock the Country Festival tour this past year, which, you know, we got to meet. Oh, it was so cool to see Nickelback a bunch of times. Like,
nice.
They are so good.
Yeah.
Well, that was probably the one band that really surprised me on that whole festival. Like, it was cool to me. I'm like, man, we get to play on the same festivals. Like Nickelback, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And I didn't really get a chance to talk to many of those guys because they would basically bus in, play, bus right out.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because these shows were in the middle of kind of nowhere. You know, that was like the appeal of the show. These massive shows on like a farm. You know, but they would come in, and the thing I have to say is like, what was so impressive was not just that they were great players, but like everybody the whole day would sound really good, big PA. And then like when they came on, it was like 3 levels up of like how good the quality was. It was amazing. So their front of house guy was like
Just killing it.
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
You know, very experienced. So that was cool to see. And also we made some great friends around that whole thing. Like it was a weird line of us, like Little Texas, the Yin Yang Twins. You know, like very eclectic. I'm like, Afro Man was on it.
Insane.
Yeah.
Topical.
It was very interesting, you know. So we
Shout
loved
out
that
Afro
experience.
Man,
And now we're just we just wrapped up a headlining tour in like a few weeks ago, and then we have, you know, we're still lining up some things for this year, and I don't know exactly what's happening for the rest of the year. There's a lot of like whisperings.
Sure.
I don't know when this is going to air, so I don't want to say like, oh, this is going to happen, and then clearly did not happen. But there are some pretty cool opportunities for like maybe the later end of the year for us to do some traveling in places that we haven't been.
Sick.
So that's, yeah. But like musically, one thing I will say that I really love that Logan lets us do is, so I'm not the band leader on this one.
Okay.
Dylan Keith is the band leader. Dylan is another one of my best friends. That, like, we are such a scrappy and tight team. This is vital. In the business of touring, like, you need to keep things, especially until there is like a plush little budget for like a serial tech or whatever. Like, you have to be tight on, and everyone has to pull their weight and do different jobs and just be fine with that, which we all are because we've all done it. Dylan's the band leader. He also owns the computers, programs the Ableton rig. He's the one that sets all that up. Like, I set it up live, but like he programs it. We have a light rig now. He owns that. He owns the tour bus that we drive in.
Oh, wow.
So like Dylan brings a real lot other than just being a great guy, and you know, he can wear a lot of different hats. So he's a super valuable guy.
Yeah.
And that's what I would encourage everybody to do. Like, learn a lot and you'll be valuable.
Yeah.
Makes me sound like I'm not valuable, but like, you know, we all chip in and do different things here. So we can cover a lot of ground very affordably and still be very comfortable touring and not have to like lose money on tours. So
Yeah, that's a great point.
it's, you know, we figured out how to do that. So even if like ticket sales are always up, and like Logan actually sells a ton of merch. He does really well ticket wise, but like, you know, sometimes, the distance is very, a lot of gas to get there. Just the economics of like how it works. We've been fortunate to like always put ourselves in a good spot by the end of the tour. Like, this is great. So yeah, I mean, so far I'm really excited where things have gone. We've been through a van fire, which is a whole nother story,
I
but
think I remember that, yeah.
yeah, I mean, you can find pictures on the Instagram page, just like terrible van, just literally like, oh wow, it's orange on the ground beside us. That's probably not good. You know, sudden loss of power and like big noise, and then finally pull over on the side of the road, and didn't take long. Didn't take long, and that thing was didn't lose any of our gear.
Got it all out.
Wow.
All of our gear. Shout out to Humes & Cases, because we literally had to open the trailer as the flames are coming towards the trailer, and we're like, because we thought the thing was going to explode, so we're all like, get away. And when we realized like, it wasn't going to explode like the movies, you know.
Yeah.
We're like,
Still just on fire.
now the trailer's going to catch on fire, and like some of that stuff we can't replace.
Yeah.
So we are like dropping the trailer. We're literally taking drums and cymbals, just throwing them, hucking them.
Yeah.
Nothing was damaged, you know.
Wow.
So those cases, they really held up.
Yeah, man.
Thanks, Mike Berg. Appreciate you, buddy.
No loss of life, no loss of limb, no loss of gear.
Yeah.
God bless. Amazing.
Yeah, so that's been, you know, there's been, in the journey of this kind of thing, like, we've been fortunate that, like, no matter what happens, like you can't phase the mentality of this crew. We're just so positive and the vibe's always good. Yeah, I mean, you don't find that.
Especially when you find that. I was going to say, yeah. So I'm glad to hear that. It sounds like very fulfilling for you to move to a place like Nashville and to be searching for that and to finally, after however many years, 6, 7, 8 years, I mean, you're in that comfortable gigs, good situation.
Yeah. And of course, like, any artist that's emerging, there's going to be parts where it's like, God, I can't wait to the next step. Part of it's embrace the journey, but the other part is like, if you as a band member, hopefully you guys can get in a scenario where like, you can chat with the artist just super openly about everything and be an asset and a real team member. So sometimes we'll work on like release strategy stuff and like content strategy. And, sometimes we'll help them film and do all that kind of stuff just because like, we all want to see it work. And Logan is super funny and, so we all work really well together on that kind of stuff.
Great. What's a favorite song right now on the set on the drums for you?
Sugar Mama.
Sugar Mama.
The song's not out yet, but
that's when you sent me.
Yeah. Right? So this one, how it works in a lot of every camp. Again, everyone's different. Aldine uses a lot of his guys on those records, which is great, and not everyone does for various reasons. Like not any that the guys are bad.
Yeah.
Sometimes the producer just like. It's like an insurance policy,
Yeah. We talked about that on this show.
Yeah. Hey, I'm getting paid big money to do a thing. Like, I know I'm going to call these 5 guys because they're going to do literally anything that could ever needed to be done. Like, I got you.
Sometimes it's good to, separation of church and state. It's
yeah.
Like if something goes wrong in the studio, it's like, shit, I'm stuck with these guys on the road now, and there might be a weird personality thing or something. Feelings hurt,
He let us play, they co-wrote it because one of the jokes in the Logan camp was like, as you sit there, like, man, I just really need a sugar mama. And I was like, man, I wish something like a sugar mama would come along and just pay for all this stuff, And so it became kind of like a running joke. Sure. And then Dylan, our guitar player, was like, well, let's write it. So Logan and Dylan went back and forth with, I'm trying to remember the other writer, and it might have been Andrew DeRoberts, but they got a good song out of it. And then the whole band's a part of the production too. So I think we're going to see a lot more of that band being part of the production thing, which is great.
That's sick, yeah.
Yeah, because we know we're the sound. Like the show, what you hear on the records is not what you see live. Live, it's way more exciting. And the records are fine too, but like everybody says the same thing. Like, man, the live show is like a way different caliber than what we're hearing on the records. So you have to do that. You got to ticket sales are king.
Yeah.
That's the proof that an artist is succeeding or not. Like streams are cool, but they don't really pay a lot.
Right.
Playlists are cool, but you don't get to pick it. Somebody else does. Yeah. But when you're going
tickets and merch, right? That's what you need.
If you're selling 80,000 tickets at the Houston Rodeo, like Cody Johnson did last night or 2 nights ago, whatever.
Grief.
That's how much proof do you need that you're doing okay?
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. I'll take 800 tickets. That's fine.
Yeah. You know what? In fact. My music doesn't need to be streaming at all. Just get those people there.
That's right. I'll take a tuba out of the side of a Thunderbird. How many tickets you got?
Yeah.
This doesn't matter.
Okay, here's a question for you. What would you say for younger drummers? And I guess selfishly, I'm asking this for myself too. Advice for maybe drummers moving here or in the middle of their career, trying to find that next up and coming artist, right? And maybe like what to look for, like networking things to do to try to put yourself. I guess like the Rich Redmond approach of just like being out there, yes, but like we all do so many different gigs and fill-ins, and a lot of times, as we know, like those gigs aren't like, like you said, maybe they're on the come down, or they're just not like it's not like the long-term play.
Here are a few things.
It's so tricky.
I guarantee you, it's been repeated, but here are a few things
from you.
That's right, it's true.
On this podcast,
preparation meets opportunity. Like if you get an opportunity to do something. And most country music's like not the hardest to play, but that's not the thing. It's like it's the feel. Like I spent a real lot of time going through a journey of like how I can make myself sound exactly like the record. Not a little bit like the record. Like you close your eyes, I am Steve Jordan playing Gravity. You can't tell the difference. And it's not like a bragging point, but it's like that was a big challenge for me. Coming up through the ranks and doing it in a way where that's my approach to every artist gig that I ever get is first and foremost, you learn when you do get an opportunity, you learn the recording, and this is just my opinion, some people are different on this, but out of respect to the recording and the artists and the drummer and musicians that played on it, that's your starting point. Like, there's the recorded material. Unless it's communicated to you that like, oh, well, we do something completely different.
Yeah.
Start exactly there. And so much of that gets lost on ride and hi-hat. How you play those things. So much of it gets lost in those things. Because everyone, I see a lot of strong kick players and, guys that play the snare fine. It's the hi-hat is so dynamic and so important. And it's sometimes this much of a little open that makes the difference between sounding like the guy on the record and not. So if you do get an opportunity.
I'm team hi-hat all the way.
It's key.
Honestly, arguably, besides kick and snare, like the most important nuanced instrument.
It has to be. And, sometimes like some of my influences are the ones that kind of led me there, like Jimmy Chamberlain from the Smashing Pumpkins.
Oh, yeah.
Following guys that were, I'll get back to why in a second, but like trying to play along. You want to play Jelly Belly? Good luck, dude. Like, I still have a trouble playing that one. I mean, like, he has his own feel, but like trying to do that stuff and I found a lot of, it was very helpful to try to play along to his stuff when I was really in that like Smashing Pumpkins rock phase of my life, And then Chad Sexton again, because no one sounds like him on the snare and his little ghost notes and like getting those things super locked in. And Steve Jordan and everything that he does. And then again, Chad Cromwell feeling that like kind of laid back thing that he does. Full circle moment about that. Yeah. The very first producer I worked with in town, and this is like 10 days after I moved to town. I just fell into this. Yeah. I met AJ, and then a couple of days later, I met another person that introduced me to AJ. A couple of days later, Paul Worley is the producer on like a bunch of the Dixie Chick stuff and Lady A stuff. He was working with an artist that I was going to do a showcase with. There was the very first person I worked with. I was like, oh my God, it's a sign. And it was really cool to see how dialed in his ears were to that kind of thing. Yeah. And it was just acoustic, but like that was the first time I had ever heard like a next level producer listen to everything. And that's what geared my mind towards like how I was going to approach Nashville entirely. Mm-hmm. So that was a really long way of saying, do the music justice by just learning it as closely as you can to the original playing feel. Putting yourself out there, there's a little bit more to that. Like, I think that the real thing to remember is the time frame is you don't get to know. So don't stress. You don't get to know. No one tells you. And again, that would be kind of boring if it did, or probably torture you mentally. Oh, my break's going to come, but it's 9 years from now.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you know what? You could meet someone and get married and have a family, and then it comes and you're in a like cool, happy spot. You don't really know.
Yeah.
So don't stress about the time frame it's going to take. Lots of people move in, lots of people move out. It's the ones that get to that make a life for themselves here, not just a career, not just a job, but like you planted roots. Maybe you bought a house. Maybe you got married. Maybe it's like you're here. Mm-hmm. You'll eventually it will come. You will meet someone that invites you on a gig, and then maybe that one doesn't work out either. Just the next two. But if you're here as a career player, that will definitely happen. Putting yourself out there for me was the coffee shop job. Like I went out a little bit, but not like, I wasn't like 5 nights a week. And then you end up getting into that FOMO thing. But again, it's all unpredictable. Well, what if I don't go out to this club and there's someone there that gets me the big break? Yeah, maybe. But you know what?
I know. It's so
you don't know that either. So like, why are you going to go spend all your money? And that's money. Let's talk about money.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Give me all your money. No, the thing about like having a job, that's one thing Rich said that was really important. Because some people move in, they got a little bit of a nest egg. 2 weeks before I moved to town, my Subaru Outback engine exploded into flames. I had to replace the whole engine. Anything I had saved up, brutal.
Yep.
Bye. Mm-hmm. So, starting off like in a rough spot made it necessary for me to get the coffee shop job.
Yeah.
I just needed something. So not everything that happens to you is a bad thing on the other end of it. There's that.
Yeah.
A lot of that's mentality too, just sure the glass is always half full, the sky's going to fall, whatever. Yeah. Just don't be like that. So if you're a good personality and you have your shit together playing wise, just take some time. You'll eventually get there. that's kind of the only thing you can do.
Yeah, man. It's only so much you can control.
Because a lot of the interactions that you guys have all probably had too have been just random. You know, oh yeah, I was just shopping for beefaroni at the store.
Yeah.
I ran into this girl, Karen, that I knew from another place I saw. Her plumber actually is the writer on Kenny Chesney's fourth number 16 hit. That, you know, I don't know, like it's all so random.
That was perfect. Yeah.
You know,
the plumber,
thanks. There's the beefaroni plug for you.
Well, I would agree with you. I would say to cherish those early relationships, because how often is it like 3 years later you get the call from someone that you met years prior, and it maybe at the time seems so random.
Oh, here's one.
People don't forget those gigs that you're on with them. Even if it's a random whiskey jam.
Don't do the don't do the whiskey jam wobble. Don't do it.
What's the whiskey jam wobble?
You know, you don't know what that is?
I can guess what that is, but what does that mean?
I don't know how much it happens.
Anything like the Cupid Shuffle?
Kind of, yeah.
In which case, I suggest not doing either.
The whiskey jam
new whiskey.
wobble.
You know. The whiskey jam wobble, someone had coined, I don't know who coined this term, but and I think Ward has done an incredible thing, and I love Ward. He's a great guy. Yeah. This is not against anything that happens of Whiskey Jam. This is just sometimes when you, at least when it was at Winners, you're in a packed house and everyone's looking over your shoulder trying to see who else is there. Yeah. And hey, I didn't forget that. I know who did that. I know who I was talking to when they're like not interested in talking to me, and I'm like, cool. All right, man. Well, I'm gonna go talk to someone else. Yeah, you know, like if you're gonna take time to talk to someone, like just talk to me.
Be present.
If you need to go, that's totally fine. But like, I don't forget the people, and you don't either, too. Like maybe after some time, but that are looking over your shoulder, wobbling around.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah,
yeah, man.
Like,
hey,
I see you, but like I'm not here for you.
Dude, oh yeah, that's cool.
Honestly, what's brutal, I'll tell you, is actually at the drum show. I'll be talking
there too.
It happens there, but I'll be talking with people, and then somebody will walk up and start trying to talk, and I'm like, I totally want to give you attention, but I'm like trying to have a conversation with a person. I'm like, now I feel like I'm being rude. I'm like, give me 1 minute. Like I don't want but you gotta wait. Everybody's got to go. We're having a conversation.
You're really good at that too. Like, yeah, it's always,
I feel like I'm bad at it.
This year, you can see Nate's finger is always like.
I'm like, 1 second. I love you. Give me a second. Like,
a lot of times we're in the middle of actually recording the conversation. It's
and people will just walk up. Don't do that.
What's up, man? How's that meatball I saw you eating yesterday? Is it okay? You know, or just maybe carry a clipboard, or like you can sign up for a time to chat. You know,
yeah, dude.
Yeah, no, that's good though. And I would say the drum show is probably less like. The drum show is more like genuine. We're just homies trying to reconnect. But like Whiskey Jam, like you can tell when people are just fishing for like, oh well, I'm looking for a gig, or I'm looking for this person to talk to. And it's like,
but it's literally not to stop you before you're going there before you launch. I felt you about to launch, but it's literally the fear of that exact thing. I'm like, I never want anybody I'm talking to think that I'm trying to go to the next conversation.
Right. You don't want to be there.
If I have to do that, I'll be like, okay, I have to talk to them in 1 minute. There's
an asterisk.
Yeah.
The asterisk is if you're there playing and you're like trying to look for your band because you're about to go on stage. Oh, that's not what I'm talking about.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Like if you like, dude, I'm so sorry. Like I gotta go play. Can we just chat soon?
Yeah,
totally acceptable. Yeah. You know, but like it does get into a point where you know it's rude, and I don't know. Everyone's kind of done it at one point or the other. But that's you know, just be present in the moment.
Yeah, man.
You know, make people feel, because you can't control how other people feel about you. Yeah. Another circle point there. It's like, you know.
Definitely don't just walk away in the middle of a conversation that someone's having with you at the NAMM show. Dave Elich. Anyway.
Mid-convo?
Mid-convo.
We got to catch up about my lesson with Dave, too.
Yeah. That's a bold move.
I just literally walked away in the middle of us talking, and I was like, well, all right then.
Wow.
Very cool.
You know, I'm going to go as far as assume that like maybe he had an elevator somewhere at the NAMM show. He had to meet someone in for recipient gas. I don't know. You know,
he might have had to go meet Boots.
Like I'm gonna embarrass myself if I stay in this conversation. There's going to be something coming out. I got to get.
Yeah, you never know. You never know.
I don't know, man. I'm just giving the benefit of the doubt. I don't know.
If you're in here long enough, y'all going to experience something. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like. That's the thing too. Trade show etiquette. Yeah. It's etiquette. Etiquette, is that a word? Etiquette is more etiquette. Well, you know, here's another factor too. Let's talk about social media. One suggestion I would make to anyone is, you know, if you really want to drive the social media page in one way or the other, don't post the same thing across all of your pages. Like you'll have bigger followings on one, like you'll have your platform where there's like one bigger following than the other. But I feel like it's way more necessary, and it doesn't always take a lot of extra effort to do this, is to vary your content by platform. So like if you have TikTok, try to dive into a little bit of like what that audience is there for. And usually it's pretty, it's pretty quick. They're not staying on for a long time. So part of that has to do with how you structure your posts and stuff like that. Being creative, like this is just going to the drummer posts that I like the most. The ones that like catch my eye are ones that like would do what you were saying earlier, like something unexpected in a part where you think something's coming, and that could be just like kind of a gimmick too. But there's some players that have moved into town that like I think are honestly incredible and have gone a pretty long way in a very short time because the content has got them the work. I think like Zach Doobie calling you out as everyone knows already.
Yep.
He has not been here that long, and he's so nasty.
He's one of the nastiest. Love that dude.
Been like 2 months.
Yeah, and like
love you, buddy.
Yeah.
So the point, here's what we can all learn from this, is that if you're good, everyone will know. Like, it doesn't stay a secret for very long.
Yeah.
If you're Zach Doobie level, it's like, oh yeah, like I want to see more of your videos because like you're really, really good. So if you're trying to do that kind of thing, it's just finding your own unique voice within that. You don't always he's elite level, but you don't always have to be there to be like something cool. Like maybe it's a creative, maybe you invent a clap thing or whatever, like a new instrument that you put on the kit and use in a different way. But posting the same thing over and over and over and over is not going to work. Just like it wouldn't work for a musician to just like, hey, my song's about to come out 5 weeks from now. Here's the chorus 17 times a day. So when it comes out, you absolutely don't want to have anything to do with it.
You see is the artist singing the same, dancing in the same verse.
Yeah. So I mean,
that's you good. Vary the content per platform.
If content is your main like source of how you want to get networking done or do an endorsement type thing or whatever it is, just think about it. Think about what the hell you want to do. Like, is it different? What makes you stand out?
Yeah.
Are you playing a shuffle? Cool. Like, what's cool about it? Like, sometimes it is cool to just see something cool and done well. I don't know. Like, there's no one way to do it. So I guess these are all just like the bottom line is like, there's no rules to this stuff. There's a couple of like basic rules, but just like, if you're interesting, you'll see your numbers grow.
Yeah.
If you don't see your numbers grow, maybe you're not that interesting.
Yeah. And that's a hard realization, I think, especially for artists.
I used to be cool, but now I'm a dad with 3 kids and I love the kids, but like I'm probably less interesting of a character now.
Dude, you're so cool. Are you kidding me? This has been like the coolest podcast.
Well, I hope so. Jeez, where's my check?
Nate, we talked about this.
What? We're not paying me in kombucha this time. I got real bills.
Where's my check? Saying that before the podcast is over is crazy.
No, I'm just kidding.
That's great.
Yeah, I know. Well, let me really quickly ask you guys, like, what is the most annoying thing for you to see in your feed? Like,
ooh, that's a good question.
Because that's what's going to immediately get you to go.
We're talking drummer content?
Mostly, yeah. But like, sometimes they can kind of bleed together. I mean, definitely what sticks out is like guys just kind of chopping over things unnecessarily. Unnecessary chopping. Take notes, everyone. Mm-hmm. Unnecessary chopping. Don't. But again, like I think someone like Zach that's a sort of a different level. Yeah. Where it's like, like you're just at a different level. Like I'm okay with seeing. He's still like chopping, but it's like super creative. And, but he can play. Yeah. Like it's not a mystery also that like just sitting in the groove. Well, oftentimes it's like him soloing and then he'll get back to the groove with the band. Yeah. Which is different than just someone in a basement just chopping out kind of thing. Well, and he also will just post content, although it doesn't receive nearly the response that him chopping does, but he will post just him playing sick grooves. Yeah. And it's funny because you have to balance that out for people to go, oh yeah, I can see you can do both. If anything, us talking about it now is kind of helpful for people to figure out like what you want your brand to be in the world. And some people, like whenever you post about the hot topics, and if you want to do it, it's totally fine. But it's naturally going to drive a rift between certain people who like what you say and certain people that don't.
Yeah.
So if you're making those kind of choices, it comes at a cost of like, you're probably going to have some people not digging what you say.
Yeah.
Ooh,
And if you care, then fine. But if not, then whatever.
Right.
That's part of it.
Who did we just talk about this with? Of like the risk of, because there's some social media drummers that will kind of make their brand off of like the silly stuff that happens on a gig.
Yeah.
Or like, oh, I can't believe I like mess up this part. I think, was it Andrew? And basically like, well, that's the perception. No, it was Jeffrey. It was Jeffrey Adamy. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, well, we have that, and I mean, obviously, Molly Rose has. She's kind of capitalized on a little bit of that.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
And Ethan's a different version of that.
But Jeff was making the point of like, well, we all know those friends of ours are fantastic players, and that's just kind of like they're capitalizing off of content, versus people like maybe potential artists that don't know them.
Yeah.
Or like, like you actually like, oh, you forgot your drumsticks at the gig. Like, okay, that's not professional. Or
That's actually a good point.
Or like you screwed out this part, or the tracks got screwed up. Like, oh, that's a turnoff. Like, why would I want to hire you?
Man,
you gotta be careful.
Even sometimes, like I think sometimes it's cool, and I wish I used to film everything I did just for content, or honestly, sometimes it was just, oh man, I'm not gonna name names, but there's one gig that I did.
Said that today.
I know. That's how, we're trying to be respectful a little bit.
We are.
There was a gig I had played at one time with an artist that would accuse me of doing like messing something up. And every time I was like, I filmed everything. Let me show you exactly how I didn't mess it up, because I got it right here. And I wasn't filming it initially as like a security thing. Yeah. But, some people were pretty easy to point a finger, not realizing the actual problem is that their own gear was terrible and it was constantly breaking down. Yeah. But they were trying to blame it on the operator. I mean, I've got myself out of some hot water in that one just from saying it wasn't me. I swear, look, I hit the thing, it didn't fire off. I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So, sometimes filming yourself can not just be for content purposes. It could be like insurance purposes.
Yeah.
Like, it's not insurance, but like,
just for yourself.
Just to prove you didn't do something,
Yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't film yourself just for that.
Yeah, sure.
Unless that's a real problem.
Yeah.
But it ended up becoming
real paranoid. Yeah.
Unless you're real.
Getting called out, that might be a bigger issue. But.
Yeah, no, I mean, it didn't happen. It was after they started realizing like it wasn't me. They
they could see you going like, okay.
Probably there was a different group, but there was one time, man, talk about nerve-wracking moments. Like at this time, it was the biggest show I had ever played. It was at Salem Field in Buffalo, New York.
Bro.
You play there?
I have a Salem Field story too.
Really?
Yeah, but I want to hear yours
a
first.
vortex around that place.
Yeah.
We were opening for Tim McGraw and like Billy Currington. It was like, we were not the opener, but we were on the
It was like
support.
a radio show?
Yeah, probably the same show in a different year.
I was filling in for Shane Prophet. Yeah, it's probably the same exact thing.
It was a cool, really cool show. I think there was probably 20-something thousand people there.
Yeah, it was huge.
And I'd never, that was like a dream. I was like, oh my God, I've never, got to play stadium. I have video of this. This is on my feed. You could find this of the tracks rig for this particular group. Just the interface straight up died. Part of it was not the what was securing it into the case had broken. Mm-hmm. So it was just for weeks, months, just flopping around in there. Never got fixed. And the day of the biggest show, it just died, didn't turn on. We had to have one of the runners go get another one, but it was an updated version, didn't configure the same way. Ugh. So now we had to figure out how to get at least a click, because the way things were arranged on this stage, none of us could see anyone. The drums were so far back because everyone had risers and everything was getting stacked in front that I could see the guitar player to the right, could not see the bass player, could not see the vocalist. I couldn't see anything. Occasionally a little bit, but we had to be on the same page. It was like a show. We just couldn't do it not seeing each other and no tracks and no cues and no nothing. So you can see on my the moment as they were announcing the band on stage is the very moment that I was able to run a click through my phone, press it. And fortunately, I do this as another security thing. in my phone, I have the tempo app, and even if I'm playing on tracks, this is the very last case scenario.
Yeah.
I will program the tempos for every song just in case we need to and have to get through a show or whatever the thing is. Maybe you just played without it. So we finally...
just to go into that, like, let's say the tracks click dies, but you can reference, like, your phone is not going to be going to ears, right?
No, it would be going, like, we had a phone... would be like a split off to a DI.
Okay, so that was actually plugged in as a backup.
Yeah, so we had to get a cable but anyways, that was the long story long is that as they were announcing the band, bloop, bloop, like we all were like, thank God, and it was like that quick, downbeat, had to go. I have not fortunately been in a situation that was that like stressful leading right up to the show since. I don't want to be again because we were like, oh, this is going to be terrible. Ended up being the best show I played with that band. Not just because of the audience, but like we were so scared, and then we knew it was going to be okay. Yeah, and we crushed it, dude, so hard in that one. Yeah. So sometimes when it goes wrong, it's going to be all right.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes it going a little wrong can open some things up within your own self, and it gives it a little magic.
That's that pressure can sometimes either cook you fully or just like make it so that your guard's a little bit down because you're like, hey, I don't have control of this now. Let's do it. We're all here to do a thing. Let's try it.
Well, I mean, I noticed this growing up in church and being involved in a worship team. We would rehearse and get the songs dialed in and whatever. And then sometimes we would be playing them during service.
Yep.
And something would go wrong. And we would just once in a while be like, hold on, stop. Let's start it over. And like acknowledging the failure. And you know what the weirdest dang thing was? Every time that would happen, congregation sing twice as loud afterwards.
Oh, really?
Without fail. We're like, oh, there sometimes, it's to err is human. And us like, these are people doing this thing. Yeah, exactly. It's not programmed. It's not like it's not predestined to occur perfectly. People are doing this.
In addition to that, I think a lot of what happens on stage, because you're the entertainers, they don't know what's happening. If you give them the cues that something is like really going wrong, they're going to think that the whole show, like it changes their perception of like what they think is going on up there. Like if you miss it, and you're visibly like, on stage, and you get the bad attitude. Yeah. Like they can see you. Yeah. Same thing with sometimes it's the vocalist, sometimes it's a guitar, like whoever is displaying the bad attitude. Yeah. Like, no, don't do that. Yeah. It's okay. Exactly. Maybe you're nervous because like you were human for like a microsecond and like you think you're going to get like an ass reaming backstage.
It's never as worse as you think it is.
Some of the Buddy Rich tapes you've all heard, like, not many people
you
are
play
like
clams?
That. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there is high pressure, but also like you have to vibe that out to the audience too. Yeah. You got to give them like the show they paid for. You know who I think is a pro, like super duper pro at that? And that just like you would never ever know that anything is ever going wrong. Do you guys know Butch Walker?
Yes.
Have you ever seen a Butch Walker show?
Not in person.
No, you wouldn't forget it. Like it doesn't matter what's happening. Like he plays excellent, but like if there's ever anything wrong, that's actually the fun part of the show. Yeah. Like someone yelling out something fun from the audience, it's like, he's so good at being an entertainer. Yeah. That like it's making all the little blemishes just like part of the better experience you're having. Yeah. So you could do that as a musician too, just like not, just let it fly over.
It's good, man.
Just play music.
Would you say Logan is good at that as well?
Yeah, like he's and also too, like Logan is he very much cares about the quality of the show. Yeah, and he's never been bad at that at all, but like he has also gotten better at, because it takes a little time, to like experience it and then figure out how do I do this live. He's gotten better at incorporating that kind of thing into the show. So yeah, Logan definitely, he handles himself well in there. Tell your mom I love her. Bye. That's his slogan. Nice. Yeah.
Well, we do got to wrap this up, unfortunately.
No, we're here, dude. You're not wrapping nothing. No, you have to stay.
You want your check or not, Wes?
Bye, guys.
Hey, drummers. Are you worried about losing your hearing? Did you know noise exposure can cause permanent hearing loss? Dr. Jason Baker with Music City Audiology provides mobile concierge services to musicians in Nashville and surrounding areas. That's right, he is 100% mobile and will come to you. If you need ear impressions, custom in-ear products, ear cleaning, hearing tests, or information about protecting your ears, he's your guy. Music City Audiology cares about drummers and wants to help you maintain your most valuable tools, your ears. Visit musiccityaudiology.com to book your consult today. That's musiccityaudiology.com.
A quick wraparound.
Yeah.
So I know we can unplug the cameras and you can tell me that terrible story you're going to tell me.
Yeah.
Interesting fact, wrapping to Guitar Hero. So the band that they used on Guitar Hero was actually a Green Day tribute band called Dookie. The lead singer of which was the main craftsman at Noble and Cooley.
Yo, it all comes back to Noble and Cooley.
He was there
That's
for a
crazy.
long time. Lou Scalzo, who I promise you is one of the best drum builders and drum painters
I believe it.
that exists in this industry. He's amazing. But yeah, he also is, I don't know if he's a voice actor, but like he has the ability to do that. And so his Billy Joe, I mean, he was good enough to use in the game. Like it's
wow.
spot on. But yeah, they used him and his band in the track for that game.
No kidding.
We're everywhere. And actually, most of the Noble and Cooley, or most of those Green Day records are Noble and Cooley snares anyways.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Well,
Trey
that's
Cool. They actually almost had one called the Trey Cooley once, I think. They were trying to work on that.
Oh, come on.
yeah.
Low hanging fruit.
Actually,
That's
at the
great.
one at the Super Bowl, when he did that thing, it was like a Ludwig, Noble and Cooley combo snare. They did that Tulip one. That was, so he's still a fan.
Wow.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
That's it. That's what I got, boys.
That's it, man. All right, let's do some quick wrap up questions.
Sure.
Needs to be more quick rapid fire. Yeah. Well, you wrote down what to look for in a quality pair of slippers
Yeah.
as a topic that you wanted to discuss. So
So the quick version of that is, sometimes like on a bus, I always keep like a pair of slippers next to the bed and then the shoes like in a pull-out drawer.
okay.
So a quality pair of slippers to me should be one that has like a solid bottom so that in the middle of the night you stop at that, pilot station, you can kind of go in, use the bathroom, get snacks,
So you could wear them outside the bus.
wear them outside the bus. They got to have a little wool inside because during the cold months, everyone's, cold, you're toasty and cozy. That's really it.
Is there a brand you recommend?
No, because I don't know. There was, and I totally forget the name, but
Yeah.
they're like brown. They look like they belong in like a
We'll
lumberjack.
put it in the show notes once you figure it out.
Yeah, we'll link it. Yeah.
So yeah, you get drummers, you got to
Link in
get,
description.
get some good gear, snare, in-ears, drumsticks, and slippers. You got to add that to their arsenal.
That's it. Yeah.
That's really
Actually,
it.
ears have been a huge one. Last thing I'll mention about this.
Yeah.
Ears being, we all upgraded our ears this past year. Ours weren't sealing that well. It made the world of difference. So if you guys are struggling, with it's leaking coming in, well, that sounds terrible, but like sound coming in your ears. I did the Sensophonics X2 Max because they have a silicone base. Like it's made of medical grade silicone. So the seal is incredible. Kind of sucks to get the impressions. They're pretty deep, but like,
That's what you want.
yeah, because they flex with your ear so that you can move your face around and open your jaw real well. I sing a lot too.
Okay.
I'm probably as good of a singer as I am drummer.
Really? Okay.
And that's one of the things that I totally forgot to mention or talk about. But I sing. I love doing background vocals. And even if it's a song that I'm used to doing background vocals on, there's no microphone, I'll still do it because like you're just used to it.
Yeah.
So if you sing and you play a solid pair of ears that have good isolation.
It's even more important.
Yeah, and the 2 Max is only 2 drivers because it seals so well that all of your bass frequencies are kept. Like you don't lose anything. So I don't need any more than 2 drivers.
Cool.
Anyways, yeah.
Slippers and ears. All right.
Okay. There is a question I've been wanting to know the answer to, and I don't know if you're the right guy to ask or not, but it seems like I should just take a shot at it. What is the difference between a sweet potato and a yam?
Oh, well, I guess I would say it's probably the part of the country like soda, or pop.
Okay.
It's the same thing. I mean, as far as I know, it's the same thing. I could be very wrong about that, but I've had yams for Thanksgiving and sweet potatoes.
Yeah.
And they tasted exactly the same to me.
They seem like suspiciously they seem like the same thing. I'm like, are these synonyms, or is this just like, am I just not understanding? I just want to just know.
Yeah, they're going to probably, there's got to be like a cultural story behind that.
Yeah.
Oh, you see, in the 7th century, when Broderick looked over at his missus and said, "Your yams are looking particularly
Broderick.
lovely this Thanksgiving evening," and she was a little offended by that. Like, no, man, it's just sweet potatoes.
And that's marketing, folks. All right. Last question, I think, for us here is just to wrap it up with food in Nashville.
Yeah.
Give us some of your favorite places in town.
Yeah.
Either coffee or drinks or food or sandwiches, whatever.
That's going to be a harder question to ask because
That's a good problem.
every
then, right?
2 days you go down to Nashville, it's like, wow, another James Beard award-winning chef has opened up a complex, whatever, which is great.
Yep.
Little Hats, meatball sub.
My best spot.
I mean, what else do you need really than like this, basically feed a family of 12.
I still have not been over there. I've been dying to, and I got invited to go tomorrow, but I'm going to be in a freaking rehearsal, and I want a freaking meatball sub so bad.
Don't rehearse.
Buy it on the way. Just eat on the
bring
way
it
up
to
there.
rehearsal.
What time's your rehearsal?
11 a.m.
Yeah, you could
Right
eat a
after
9 a.m. meatball sub. Don't look weak to me.
Well, what?
Are they open?
Look at this Viking ass hair you got. I can't do a meatball sub.
Well, okay, where is it located? Because I got a path.
Yeah, there's
I'm
a
going
couple
from the gym.
locations. They
All
got
right.
you covered. They got one over Enjoyment Town over there.
Okay.
They're probably not open till like 11, but yeah, that's the place you want to go.
All right.
What else?
So for coffee, I'm always partial to Osa for coffee.
Yeah, I love that spot. Yeah.
And
Lesser
that's
known,
that's
right?
part of the Edge Hill tie-in too. My buddy
yeah.
Jack owns that place, but
cool.
he's a great guy, and they've always made super super great coffee. So
coffee.
shout out to Osa.
They always have good croissants too.
Yeah.
Pastries.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a key part of it. Want a little snack with that. Yeah. Another thing is, let's see. God, there's just so many places to eat now. I'm like, I really like.
You do hot chicken?
I do. Now, my wife definitely disagrees with me on this, but like straight up Hattie B's. I like Hattie B's.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah.
What's your wife like? Princess?
She hates chicken, period.
Oh.
So she didn't care where I go. It's like chicken, you just hard pass. She's like, no. But like she
take the
really
kids, I'll
doesn't
be
like
home,
Hattie
yeah.
B's. Like but I do. I usually spice level is medium on average or hot. I don't do like the spice level that makes you regret like ever being born. That's
Sure.
You're trying to enjoy some
it,
spice and you're not trying to punish yourself for something you did.
Yeah, well, also they have these Bean Boozled, those Jelly Bellies.
Yeah.
The ones that have like disgusting flavors, but they have like heat ones, so you get like 5 or 6 different levels of like hot jelly bean. It's always a good one to mix in there in case someone's like, not going to trust you. They'll extra not trust you. Yeah.
Oh yeah, heat beans, baby.
Heat beans.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, I would say those are the ones I could think of off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But I'll have to dial in. I'll circle back later.
Yeah.
Because that's all I can think of is what I want
we'll
right
just grab
now.
a bite at the next spot.
Yeah, or Deg Thai was good too.
Deg Thai was really good. Yeah.
Deg Thai is solid.
Yeah.
Yep. There's a lot of places that ruin Thai food, but that one does not.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
That was great.
And also one last thing, Honey Fire Barbecue they're good all the way around, but like their dry rub wings. I don't usually like dry rub.
I love wings. I like dry rub. Where's Honey Fire?
It's like a Coca-Cola dry rub that they use in there. I don't know what exactly it is. They have one in Bellevue, and they also have one in the Assembly Food Hall.
Yes, they do.
Oh, okay.
And they gave me a big fat tray of meat one day because they were just like, we're closing up, and I had a whole bunch of pulled pork for free. It was fantastic. They were fantastic.
That is a treat. Pulled pork for free?
Really, I think it was more the fact that I was getting a milkshake from whatever that Hattie Jane's right there.
Great ice cream.
Yeah.
And I think one of the guys over at Honey Fire was like trying to like make it happen with the girl serving milkshakes, and so he brought over a big tray of meat for her, and she was like, "You want some of this?" I was like, "Sure, I'll take."
What a traditional gift.
Yeah.
I think I would be interested in dating you. Here's a big old tray of meat.
Yes.
That
There you
would
go.
work for me, honestly.
Hey, I mean, what else do you want? He's literally bringing home the bacon.
I'll be your favorite mistake.
Hey.
Yeah, we can do better, guys. All right, lead the people with your social media where people can get a hold of you.
Okay. My handle is Bourque. So I'll spell it Bourque.
2 U's.
Chop. Yeah. That's why, it's hard to pronounce.
Not to be confused with Jelly Roll's pork chop.
Yeah, actually.
Cody
yeah.
Ash, sorry. Yeah.
Cody.
Yeah.
Let's hang. We got to do a pork chop,
Yo.
X, pork chop, X pork chop or something.
We'll do it right here in the podcast because we You
Oh,
had
that would
him
be a
on
wild
2 years
one.
ago? Yeah.
That'd be a wild one.
That's
Yeah,
it.
he's great.
Yeah.
Great player. I loved him smashing beers up and, doing
was
the whole
crazy.
thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe we'll smash kombucha and just, same.
Yep.
Smash kombucha.
It'll be a big, good plug for the show. But yeah, at Bourque Chop is the handle, or Wesley Bourque. I pronounce it Burke, by the way, which is weird.
Bourque, okay.
Yeah, don't ask. This is a longer story.
Yeah.
But do you pronounce it that way because it is pronounced that way?
We pronounce it that way because my family has always said Burke, even though phonetically it's Bourque.
Okay.
And I went against the grain at one point because I was like,
It's your fault.
I need to know, why can I not pronounce my own last name? I'm the only person that doesn't know how to do it. French Canadian. Turns out some went to New England, said Burke. Some went to Louisiana, said Bourque. No rhyme or reason. Just said, some people said it this way, some people said it that way. So I established Bourque Chop to Bourque is the way you do it.
Yeah.
But then out of respect for my family, I went back to Burke. So
Nice,
flip flopping.
Love it.
That's it. So yeah,
Still you.
Yeah, either way is correct.
Either way.
Hey, family all the
Technically
way.
correct.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
That's
All right, man.
family all the
Well,
way.
Wesley, it was so good having you on finally.
Hey, thank you guys. I
This
really
was-
appreciate
this
it.
was so fun. So
Hope you learned something, and I'm sorry about the IQ drop from some of those stories. You'll get it back.
dude, no. But we want more stories next time.
I got some.
Dude, hell yeah.
See you, boys.
Breathing. Where you are, where I've been.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Nashville Drummers Podcast. If you liked it, please consider leaving us a review on the Apple Podcast app. Please consider supporting us on Patreon. For $5 a month, you can help support this dream and keep the ball rolling for us. Believe it or not, it's not free or even necessarily cheap for us to make this thing go. To sign up, go to patreon.com/Nashville Drummers Podcast or click the link in our Instagram bio. All of your help is greatly appreciated.
Visit our website, NashvilleDrummersPodcast.com, where you can listen to all past episodes, learn more about myself and Nate, and buy all your favorite Nashville Drummers Podcast merch, including t-shirts, tank tops, sweatshirts, hats, and drum heads. Connect with us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube at Nashville Drummers Podcast. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Ain't the same, so I give in. I'll get lost and go find out why I don't want to see your face when I close my eyes. Wish I could make it all over.